This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
And what would a Tuesday be without some sort of a technical issue? Marnie, what are you doing?
I'm like, are you afraid?
Marnie is standing just out of camera shot by the door doing some sort of a whore bath. What is, you're wiping down, that's what I call it. You're doing some sort of a wipe down of your face. What do you call it? Oh, heaven's sakes. Anyway, back to our technical. If you are looking forward, and this isn't going to help you because you can't hear it, the audio-only stream is not going to be functioning tonight. What you're going to hear on the audio-only stream, previous show, so something not current. But it's only within the past 5 shows, so previously it was 10 shows, so at least you're caught up a little bit more, something like that. Anywho, hi everybody, welcome. It is a Tuesday night. You're in Studio C. It's the show. My name is Clayton McKee alongside Marnie Ryer, who's out of camera shot still. There she is. There's her arm. And then Al Perkins, who is here.
Doing something that I think needs to be studied. Like what?
I'm not sure what she's doing. She comes in, she spends time in the bathroom alone, then she comes out with needing some sort of a towel, and then she stays out of camera shot. I'm not sure. Wow. All right, Marnie. Well, we'll excuse you for a few minutes. It's quite all right. For those of you wondering why the Q Talk America logo is strategically placed over Kat Carlson's chair, it's not that she feels unattractive this evening. She just cannot be here. She is involved in a book fair somewhere, has overrun her evening. I'm not sure exactly how.
Yeah, it's over this week. I think she was talking about the joy of things winding down and ending, and this was definitely on the list.
Book club. But do you remember how excited she was with the book fairs a long time ago?
Yeah.
And now it's not. So everything's
any job.
It's run its course. So she is somewhere in North Scottsdale helping somebody with a book fair. Good luck to her with that. I've not been to a book fair, but it's quite all right. So hi everybody in the chat room. Well, apparently it's you and me, Al, at this point in the chat room. That's it. Well.
Hi.
That's exciting.
For a second, someone was there.
I'm pretty sure we're broadcasting. Yes, we certainly are.
Papa, can you hear me? It was Babs' birthday.
I did see a reminder of that on Facebook. Is it today, yesterday?
I think it was yesterday, April 24th.
It was.
Because it's a big day. Like, whatever day that is, it's like Shirley MacLaine's birthday. I mean, the list
of multiple people.
Yeah, the April... Let's double check, but I'm 99% sure it's April 24th.
Let's get on that, Alfie. Check that birthday. But I did see that. You know how the Facebook brings you those memories and it reminds you of things you did yesteryear, and that was one of them. What, Marn?
Live from the kitchen, Marnie Ryer.
Marnie, give her the cordless mic. She could broadcast from in there if she wants to be off camera all night. We could just set you up out there in the kitchen, Marnie. That'd be funny. Sadly, she'd probably like that. I wouldn't, because I enjoy her being in here with the rest of us. Because if we're going to be on camera, she might as well be as well.
Right. Take them all down.
Take them all. My God.
So yeah, it was April 24th, and we've done this because we've done a show on April 24th.
I'm sure.
And it's an embarrassment of riches, and they rearrange them every year. So Derek Luke, who's an actor, very good. He was in...
What in the fuck?
Jesus H.
She has coffee,
just relax.
Chips, snacks.
Not chips, popcorn.
Okay, all right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Go ahead, Al.
I just want to make sure he was the one in. Before I say it. Okay, glad I didn't say it. But he was just in 13 Reasons Why as the guidance counselor. Derek Luke, Barbara Streisand, Jaimin Hanzu, Oscar nominee. Shirley MacLaine. Oh, wait for it. Michael O'Keefe. Jill Ireland, who I think is dead.
Wow, no.
Yeah, no, Jill Ireland died a long time ago of cancer.
Really?
Yeah.
Where have you been, Marn? You get to keep up with this stuff?
She died in like the 80s.
The 80s?
Yeah.
Kelly Clarkson.
Oh my gosh.
She's still alive.
Still alive, yeah. Very nice.
I think so.
I like your shirt, Marn. Your Mary Tyler Moore shirt. That's cute.
Thanks.
You're going to make it.
After all.
Sure.
I thought there was a couple more, but I mean, that's quite. Just Shirley MacLaine and Barbara Streisand should really get you there. That should say it all.
That's a big day right there, because you got Shirley and however many people she's been.
Right, exactly. and
She's coming back.
And even though I watched it with all of my internets at home, the 13 Reasons Why, every time the guidance counselor came on screen, I'm like, who is he? Like, where have I seen him?
Did you figure it out?
Yeah, at the end of it, I'm like, all right, start looking people up.
Okay. Oh, I forgot my notepad. Oh, I've got to go get my notepad.
Olford.
I've got to have my notepad. I can't because I have to take notes.
Would you like me to get that?
No, I can get it.
Well, I do have to say thank you for
'Cause I was gonna for what?
something else that I have to talk about later.
Oh, we have so many things to talk about.
I
I was
know,
gonna
Mama
ask you
died.
something and I lost track of what it was. You were watching
get your
something
notebook.
snippet. Yeah, I'll go do that. You two talk amongst yourselves. Oh, hi, Mom. Mom's in the old chat room there. I have a story about Mom too.
Oh.
Very good. I have a story about your
Fantastic.
mom.
I'm-
Marnie, I've got a story about your mom.
I'm very
I
nervous.
only have a teeny tiny story about your mom, but really not about your mom.
Okay.
Isn't that weird?
That is what
Damn,
that
I've never
without
met the woman.
Well, there you have it.
qualifies as a couple different things.
Strange as hell, but
Yeah.
you know. Oh, how are you, Mr. Perkins?
I'm very well. Very well, suffering through the allergies.
Yeah, you get
It's been
nailed with those.
it has been a brutal season.
Anytime I see those yellow trees, it just smears yellow all over the place. I'm like,
Well,
they
now
don't,
there's
they don't knock on wood. They don't get me, but just seeing all that.
two kinds of trees.
The olive trees,
Well, there's the ones, the Palo Verdes that have the pretty yellow flowers.
pretty.
I don't think those are the culprit.
Oh,
Mine are those big goddamn trees with the yellow balls on them.
They're right out behind your back door.
That look like it looks like the
Oh, I
shit
think
on the
that's what
bottom
I
of a
was talking
poncho.
about, yeah. They're awful.
And that's
Awful.
seriously, it's a yellow wind going around today. That sounds wrong, but that's exactly what it is.
True. Yeah.
It's so windy, and the Palo Verde trees are all around. We got a massage just earlier, and the
They're in
Palo
that parking lot.
Yeah, and I don't think it's those that are the culprit. I really think it's that fucking sombrero Ebola virus shit that's growing in my backyard, because those trees are everywhere too. So between the two and all this wind, it's just yellow, and like there's just swirling urine, or I don't know what the fuck it is.
You're in town.
Yeah.
Or they call you mellow yellow.
Right.
Because you're all mellowed out from all the Sudafed you're on.
God bless Zyrtec.
Yeah.
That's what I'm down to now.
That's what I take every day. I take the Walgreens version of Zyrtec, the Waltec or something, Walzir,
yeah.
whatever.
Sure, I got a couple more of those
And
last time we worked to the Safeway version.
And I nothing, just everything's fine, goes through me. And I actually got my mom. She went to about a couple weeks ago, I think we talked about, and she popped a couple of those, and but she's got over the hump of that. I think we're clear of.
Well,
and it's
my
odd that
problem is
something
I
got to
keep
her.
trying to get off of them. I keep thinking, all right, it's over, it's done, everything's
Right.
dead, but it's not.
It's not.
It's
It never
not
comes
hot
back
enough
up.
yet. Everything's
Oh no,
not dead.
I think you maybe the century mark or a little higher for a few good days, and then we're out.
yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not even gonna hit 90 this.
Thank
I mean-
God. Well, just go with that.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But it should be 90 this month. Like that is the
I
right
know,
temperature.
But Erin is much happier when it's not.
I know.
So we just kind of go.
Can
with
we
it.
find medication
Hey,
for her,
I
Teddy?
just. I'm taking what I can get here.
Yeah.
You know.
Aside from that,
And
can we get her
under
medication?
The 90, yeah. Good call. Good call.
Good call.
Fair point. Fair point. I'm doing well, Mama Di. How are you doing, honey?
Oh, she's good. She's chilling.
good?
In fact,
like it.
No, we're not probably right now,
And
right
Mr.
now, but
Nan.
today, and I thought of you, Martin, because today Mom got a brand new AC unit put on the house.
Oh, how nice.
congratulations.
A train unit.
Actually, American Standard. So
Oh,
it's the
okay.
sister.
Got it.
American Standard and Train are made by the same company.
Okay.
So she got
Congratulations.
the new, and it is quiet as a
Yeah.
mouse. And I
When we
remember,
gather by the river, it'll be at her house.
Right.
And I remember yours when you got yours, how quiet your train unit was. But
You're
you know,
like, is it on? I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Because the other one
She-
was like this.
right.
You know.
When we were standing in the kitchen at her house today, and the technicians were there, and they're like, "Well, it's running," and she's like, "Really?" And she ran outside, and then I ran outside because
Yeah.
I'm like, "Wow, it is quiet."
It is, yeah.
Amazingly.
Oh,
So,
it's
Mike,
delightful.
I was going to ask you because I know how many 5 years ago now? How long ago was it?
8.
It's been 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You got to do.
No. What, 7? Yeah, 8.
Okay, so now we're even going 8. The units are even more efficient since
Right.
then.
Right.
What noticeable difference in your power bill was there?
Well, that's the hard part. That's
Okay.
the hard part of being able to tell because we have the new unit, but the rest of the house is pretty much going to shit.
Okay.
Oh,
Right? Like where you have the windows and you're like, did you feel that
Right, but
outside?
still,
you know, like because you can see
cooling-
the people.
Yeah.
But still, but cooling your house should cost less than it did before.
Well, every month it's $274.
Okay, so you're on a level pay.
Right, and we
Got
have
it.
the pool, and we have
Oh.
like so there.
Well, she
Yeah,
does
it's
too.
super hard to factor certain things.
Okay.
The old single pane windows, the this
Right.
and this.
God, that is
And-
the easiest way to talk me out of a pool is tell me about that electric bill.
Well, and it just depends. The electric it really goes up, but and same with the water bill.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it gets to be insane. But the,
Well, that plus you have a whole full yard and sprinklers too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
very
got
true.
you got it all there. And,
But go big or go home,
and
or
Right.
go big and, you're at home. I don't know.
you're on that
Okay.
curve, so you've got the huge lot
Yeah.
that's kind of in a V shape.
Yep.
I know, but she's not electrocuting that $284.
Speaking of
Good
electrocuting, I
grief.
tried
Oh,
to
that's
do
and
that.
that's level pay.
Oh, I know, but mine's 105.
Oh, your level pay?
Let me take a note on that.
I just ditched my level pay, and then because they can't. I just ditched it because
Level pay is the same
equalizer.
everyone
Well,
thing?
yeah. I just ditched mine because they can't do what I want them to do, which is it's much easier to take small bites than big ones. So I shoot them. I just go log in every Monday and I pay $60. I just pay $60 a week and just keep going because they won't do that. They want to take the full 200 and whatever the hell it is, every week for that. I'm like, no, we're not going to play that game anymore. So I just shoot them money, just like I do with the cable
So you're
bill.
mad at them because they won't make up a completely insane billing cycle.
No, it's not. I don't think it's an insane billing cycle. When you have all of the electronics available to you,
Yeah.
and other people will do that. In fact, if I wasn't in a business banking account from the company, I would be able to go through and have the bank forcibly just send them $60 every week, and I'd never have to do anything. But because I can't do that with this bank account, like you could personally, you
Right,
could
but
go
I
in
get
and
paid
have
every
your
2 weeks. So that's not really helping me.
no, okay, but still, you could do the same thing every 2 weeks. You could do it, but I'm just saying,
Or I could just do it every month like a normal human.
I just like the smaller bites.
I
It's
just-
easier. I want the money away from me.
Yeah.
Go get
Yeah.
it paid.
Give me $60 every month. I'll pay your fucking electric bill.
And then,
at the end of
and
the
then
month.
every time I log in, I have this big negative balance of all this credit that I have
Sure.
sitting there, which I'm really happy about.
No, I think that's
Southwest Gas isn't as important because I get it's like 14 cents they send me every
No.
every month for a bill in the summer.
Sure.
Currently, there's like a $40 credit, so I'm gonna wait till
You'll be
December.
fine,
yeah,
right.
that's fine.
Yeah.
That's good.
I
So
hear
anywho,
that.
she got the new air conditioning.
Nice.
We're all happy.
Congrats.
She doesn't.
That's
She doesn't have it on
fantastic.
yet. We did it for a while to test earlier today, but no, at this point she doesn't because the evenings are still nice.
Yeah.
And then,
if only you could open the windows.
Doesn't matter. We
Oh,
have
her
had
whole
that
house
thing-
is open.
Well, we have had that thing running. I don't even know
Yeah.
since last month.
Yeah,
I'm still on.
terrifying,
I'm
yeah.
still on full lockdown.
No.
Yeah, so you're
Yeah,
still
sure.
running yours. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But it's too cold. Like I put mine on 76, and I'm like burrito. There's a breeze in here.
Right.
Right, but at least your house you can cool it will hold it.
Yeah.
Yours is like a refrigerator.
Right.
Just don't open the door.
Yeah.
Somehow it manages.
Yeah, but my house is not like that. Your house is not. Neither.
No.
Mom's is relatively cool though.
My house is a tomb, though.
Well, and
I
hers
wish I-
hers is
No
going
light. I don't.
east-west,
I don't allow
though.
I don't allow daylight in to like
Yeah.
ruin that effect.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But hers is going east-west,
Uh-huh.
and so there's something with the north-south. I think that especially the whole southern part for like my back,
Yeah, that's what-
my bedroom, the living room. It's
Oh,
just
we all-
Southern,
cooking.
we
yeah,
all three have, yeah.
southern, southern exposure is awful. My room is on faces north. Thank God. My bedroom and living room
Right.
are north only. So
and
life
that
is
changes
grand.
things. Yeah, that changes things. And you have a covered patio in the back.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that helps.
Yeah, it does.
That
It
helps
breaks
a
a little
lot.
bit up
Break from that back wall of the house.
when you're trying
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
cool down the hell.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mom, before
Yeah.
we started the show, I was going to tell you I got a
I'm a little
text.
nervous about
I got a text from your mom
Yeah,
last night.
yeah.
At 10:20. I was she was a little late.
Oh, that's early.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
But
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I had sat down. My whole day was thrown off by a bunch of other stuff. So I had sat down to enjoy my Rachel Maddow
Of course.
personal time.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I get a phone call. And in the past 2 nights.
Phone call?
Or I mean a text. I'm sorry. And I get annoyed because
Sorry.
I'm like all fucking day nothing.
Right.
I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna watch something. Though it's DVR'd.
Yeah.
That's not the point.
Yeah.
Calm time. That's what I'm thinking I'm gonna have. The same thing happened to me on Sunday with Feud. All goddamn day, nothing. 9 minutes in, I get a call from a client. Like, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
Right, right.
Ruined my
Fix it
whole
yourself!
ruined my whole mood. Anyway, but your mother sent me a text last night, and of course, when I see your mom text, I think immediately there's something wrong.
Sure. Of course.
But
Who's
it says this. It says, "Dear Ice Maker Guru, thank you. Love from the Ice Queen." So your
Oh,
mom
well,
is now a
very
queen.
nice.
She's
Shit,
dubbed
but
herself Ice Queen.
I can see that happening.
So
sure.
I'm glad to know that all
Oh,
is well in the
good.
ice making world of the Ryer household.
Isn't it a fucking shame that the minute you said that she sent you a text, I'm like, what did she tell you was broken?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, because you said if she texts you about the sink,
Yeah.
I'll kill her.
I'll kill her. and I meant it with love.
Yeah, well,
So would you like to now share what's wrong with the sink?
yeah, I'm just going to say.
We'll get there. Anyway, yeah, unless you just want to start now, then that's fine.
Well, I've already started. I'm
Yeah.
already starting with
Yeah.
what I've done.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Well,
Where you been?
I have been everything, literally, damn near everything has been breaking at the house. Just breaking.
It happens.
Just cause.
Yeah.
Right. I know. I think
Home
it's a
ownership.
test
Why
of,
you shouldn't do it.
and it's the test of the patience to be like, really? Oh, that's great. And so, like, I went in to take a shower, and then I was taking a bath, and that was so fun. And then I thought, oh, wait, I was taking a shower.
Yeah, that shouldn't be filling
That
up.
should
Is
not
this,
be happening.
is this in the stand-up shower that you tiled?
Yep.
Okay.
It's the old plumbing. The
Well, of course.
whatever.
New tile, but the plumbing's the
I
original.
know, exactly.
Right.
And so
I feel like the drain's not working in this tray. If I could just go by clues.
correct. Going by those clues, it's a great idea.
Wow.
And
in the
so-
shower with the drain and Mrs.
Just
Plum.
keeps going, and I'm like, oh, for sake. So then I go out into the kitchen. I'm doing something else. This was maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours later, and I would say that they're associated. Like these things are associated. No, they're not. They're not.
Okay.
So that was fun. I looked down and I'm like, oh, well, that's coming back up. Both sides. Fun.
Of the sink
so
or
fun.
what?
Of the sink.
Oh.
Fun. This
Okay.
is super fun. So I'm like, I'm up. Get the shit done. It's the last thing I do.
Wouldn't
so,
they be in the common line?
Priest or plumber? Priest or
Kinda.
plumber?
I know exactly, but nothing else was getting affected. So it was just something. Whatever. So I got the bathroom one fixed, but I can't get the sink one fixed. I took it all apart. I was very handy.
Well, it's probably beyond the trap in the bottom. It's in the wall or in the floor in the.
I even tried to snake it. Me.
How long is the snake?
I don't.
Where'd you get a snake?
I bought one a long time ago. Something. I don't know.
They are not
It
hard
was
to
not
acquire, Al.
Yeah. You can get it at like Home Depot. It's
I
this
told
little
you.
thing.
I need a
Whatever.
docent and a therapist to go in that place.
So, hey, meow.
Meow Cow, you're very welcome for the clue reference, yes.
So it was very exciting doing the fixing up of the house.
Yeah.
And so, it's just like, where are you looking? You're like, okay. So I have a broken mom. I have
Do not try to snake her.
do not.
That will not
Oh,
work out as
that'd
well.
That'd be awkward. And then, that would not. Well,
I have
let
two
that go.
options for you, plumber-wise.
Yeah. Tried to call Gerald.
Yeah.
I don't know if anything happened.
Oh, I know. Okay, and if not Gerald, then I have another friend who
good.
has his own plumbing business.
I would love it.
Local,
I'd love to be able to help.
Very tall, good-looking man who owns a. He actually does work for the Mark Howard, like the Fez, the Switch, all those people. Al was watching
it.
another
Thank
show. He has done work for a lot of other people, and I run into him oftentimes at Stacy's.
Okay.
And
I would love that.
yeah, I can get
because
you
that
his
way it's
information.
somebody local, somebody
Yeah.
You're,
I use Brothers a lot.
Okay.
They do my plumbing, air conditioning, cooling.
Awesome. Yeah.
And if you can't get I mean, they're a local business.
Yeah.
I think they're brothers here in town.
Sure.
They
Yeah, that'd be
do
fantastic.
good work at a reasonable price.
Yeah, it's just where you look up and you go, no.
Oh yeah.
And I went out in the laundry room, and that was all, and that was just my own kind of fault. But it was one more water kind of thing, and it
Yeah.
was the whole laundry room was flooded, and I thought, okay, well, fuck it, I'm done.
Well, it's all part of your original house, so that's probably all connected to the same
Yeah.
line on that side, I
Yeah.
would imagine.
So,
That's fun, though.
that was
Somebody
fun.
flushed a brassiere. That's
Somebody
my guess.
did something.
Yeah, it's never fun. And then it's all of a sudden one tiny thing, and it stops everything.
Yeah.
Good times.
And you think the one thing you don't think is what's going to happen next. You just don't think that
Right,
because the
that's
minute.
Oh, because you know it's coming.
it. So what?
Dun,
So
dun.
what
I'm not
happened
gonna-
next?
Dun, dun.
No. It wasn't that there was a necessarily a next. It was just I'm not thinking that.
Okay.
When my
So I'll let you know.
Oh, okay,
when
good.
I
Well-
get home tonight.
when my hot
if
water
anything.
heater flooded,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was just like,
nightmare.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I am moving.
Yeah.
He did not move.
I
did
did.
not that.
Subsequently.
But you would have, if you could have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I could have been out that day.
Oh sure.
Take
Yeah,
two
and
things
you
I
know
want
what?
in a light vest.
You don't. The shame is like you don't want to bitch about something in that regard. Like big deal. Shit happens.
There
you
are
get a
people
towel.
who don't
you clean it
have
up.
indoor running water.
Exactly. And you look at it. And
I don't want to live with them either.
No, I agree. I
Fair
understand.
point. But I just thought it's fine. It'll be fine. And then my hands got dirty
Oh, and I'm
under
out.
the sink, and I was done.
No.
So then I put on my big long Viking gloves, and
Yeah.
I was good.
And I need because I should steal them from work, but I shouldn't steal them from work. So I need to find gloves and where they sell gloves.
Like a Home
I
Depot
buy
or
them.
Ace
I buy
or-
them on Amazon. They ship
Yeah,
directly to the
sure.
house. They're
There you
blue
go.
surgical gloves. In fact, you use them.
Yeah.
Yes. I buy them by the thousands,
I'm sure you do.
but I only buy the L's. I don't buy the R's.
Okay.
You're stupid.
I'll get the irregulars just so I can get my hands dirty. Got any irregular gloves for sale?
Left and right.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I just wasn't sure. I wasn't
I'm
sure
never
what kind
sure.
of day it was.
That's why I wear panties. I wear a diaper. I'm never quite sure.
And you don't want to be in a hurry.
So aside from swimming through your house through dirty water, what else you
Yeah,
done?
very exciting.
But the dogs love that.
They do. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're little Swiffers excited
It's like
about
with
that.
the lake.
Yeah. Actually,
New dog named Swiffer.
there was one other thing that in the midst of all of that, the element on the stove, the bottom element that's a two stove
heats
thing.
the stove?
Yep.
Yeah.
That broke, and so it was, of course, right in the middle. It snapped. Like
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, over time, the heat.
Weird, right?
Right.
So I was trying to get in there, and I'm like, okay, and I'm pulling it out and I'm doing whatever. And I'll unplug it. That just seemed foolish until later. So I got that.
Wait, were you standing in water at the time? Because that really
No,
helps.
that
Yeah.
was not.
That goes together.
Curling iron this hand, foot in the bathtub. I was ready.
I'm the reason that they put that "do not drive with this in the windshield" thing.
They do-
Just in case.
You're the reason for warning stickers.
Yeah, I think
Don't
so
make
now.
toast in the
This
bathtub.
one tells me to put my car in the street, and I want to tell you, never underestimate my laziness. Didn't take the sun visors
Sure.
down, so
Yeah.
I'm like, doesn't really matter. I'm backing up most of the way, and then I'm going forward like 10 feet.
Right.
It's just 2 steps I don't want to take, and literally did it. And I was like, you lazy motherfucker.
But did you to repark the car? Did you take them out so you could see?
Because I could see out the side.
Most of the house is still there. Okay.
I knew where the driveway was, and I'm like, that's pulled in far enough.
Probably so.
I say
Fair
4
enough.
full steps.
Fair enough.
Yes,
That's
and
good.
that, please welcome to Home Improvement with Lesbians and Gays
That's right.
on the Q Talk America
And
Radio
why
Network.
Al shouldn't have a driver's
Absolutely.
license, even in his own driveway.
Actually, we are the reason that they put the warning labels on things.
I know, yeah, exactly.
That is
Yes.
us.
Most accidents happen 5 miles from home, not from my
Or 5
house,
feet.
more like a feet.
In the house. It's coming from in the house.
The car's in the house. He forgot to take the visors down.
He's been driving through all day.
Where'd you park the car? Right near the kitchen.
Yeah.
Or in.
Comfortable.
I don't know.
Could be.
It's a drive-through.
Also, Manos. Speaking
Yeah,
of
so-
drive-thrus, I'm going to keep interrupting this story.
Please do.
Sylvia's at 7th Avenue
Yes.
and Missouri,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, got a
Drive-thru.
drive-through.
They did some add-on and did some stuff, and our drive-through.
They do.
Local
I mean,
restaurant for you.
If I
people.
wasn't trying to break all speed records on getting
Sure.
the fuck home,
Sure.
I would have explored more. But all of a sudden, I was like, well, they've done something new. It's a drive-through there, and there it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're open at 6 a.m. apparently.
Fuck you!
Shut
That's exciting.
Swear to God. Breakfast burritos.
Holy cow!
I will report back Thursday morning,
Oh,
8:30ish.
But based on where they are with traffic flow, that's smart
It's
because
very
people can
smart.
turn right in left and left out. They just circle right and go right to
Jack-
downtown.
I'm gonna
That is
Missouri
very
my
smart.
ass right
That's it.
down.
There you go.
I think it's brilliant. Brilliant.
It is. Do they have margaritas?
I'm sure. I
I
don't think they
would
do it through the
assume.
drive-through.
Maybe
I'm gonna
not
bet.
through the drive-thru.
I'm gonna
I
bet no.
Feel like they frown on that.
Yeah, probably can't remove them from property.
Oh, I meant them as 2 separate entities.
Oh.
You have a
Then
drive-through,
yes.
and do you have?
They do, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Inside when you go to sit
Now,
down.
I don't know if they're open inside at 6 a.m. though.
But
True.
But they can serve.
Fair point,
If
but
they
they
if they
could,
were
that's
to be,
right.
they can serve. Yeah.
So, needless to say, back to home improvement.
Back to your oven issue.
Back to the home improvement show we were
So-
starting.
Yeah.
So I have I'm under the sink, and then I just flip around, work on the oven, and then under the sink, flip around, work on the oven. At which point,
A woman's place really is in the kitchen.
it is in the kitchen. Absolutely,
That's what we've learned.
it sure
Don't
is.
interrupt me when I'm talking about feminism.
Wow. Wow.
My apologies. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Fuck off, Sylvia.
No, my favorite part of the story so far is you flipped around a whole bunch of times.
Whole bunch
I would
of
like to have seen that
It was
flipping.
really-
Double
True.
sow cow into a
Yeah.
triple toe loop. She landed directly
Topic.
on the element.
Mom says, "Well, can't I understand that the oven doesn't work, but can
I rinse out these
use
fruits
the,
or vegetables?
No.
The broiler?
The stovetop. The stovetop.
Oh,
Can I
yes,
just use the
yes,
stovetop?
yes.
I'm like, why not? Well, see, I had taken out the element part.
Yeah.
And then there are these two things that go into the element part, that plugs it in.
Oh, mm-hmm.
So they're like metal, and they're just kind of hanging there. And I went like this to move the oven back in, and I plugged it in. At which point I moved it back out a little bit, just enough so that one of the pieces of metal could hit the other piece of the metal and spark like fuck. I mean, like it was
Yeah.
like the... So
I was looking for
that's
wounds on your body.
and
Because that's 220.
right. I was holding
Uh-huh.
the things.
I'm riveted.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. At which point it was redonkulous. Oh my god. I'm a fucking moron. Like, who does that? Me.
Okay.
And so that was exciting. I'm totally with an ant. Move.
Oh,
Thank you.
that's very
Honey,
helpful.
I'm totally with you right now.
One word advice.
And then the good news.
Well, we were hoping for a happy ending.
I know.
You want a raffle for a new stove?
Uglyhomes.com called you up.
Wouldn't that be great?
I just saw that billboard saying,
We t-
your house is lovely.
I should have called. So I was trying to hang out with the people like Summer, our new listener in like Oklahoma.
Hello,
I think.
Summer.
Hello, Summer, and the reason that's why I was going for the electrocution, because they have a lot of that going on by here going around.
You're killing me.
Anyway,
They're killing
I'm
other
in
people.
for
they're killing
electrocution.
everybody. I'm for that. So the
You're the reason God made Oklahoma.
you're the reason we can't have nice things.
It's you.
So I had a green audit done. That's my other thing.
I see.
I am thrilled, and I can't wait to get the stuff done. Thrilled.
Okay, so what
They took all kinds of pictures. Like, I could show you what my attic looks like. And one of the people that went out there stepped on, like, we can't get any kind of cooling into the living room. Like, it gets real hot and stagnant in there.
Right.
That's because when you get up through the attic thing, you step down, and it's right on the ductwork.
Yeah.
So now it's completely pinched.
Okay.
And so I'm like, for real? Then we get this work done twice a year, and no one's noticed that?
Right.
Except for the guy who stepped on it. I was.
Now, what's a green audit?
They come out and they let you know, like, here are all the leaks. This is what you can do.
Oh.
We do this thing. So, I mean, they're going to sell you, if they can. Here's your pool. If you had this kind of...
I gotcha.
Right? So they go through this whole thing and...
Look for inefficiencies, basically.
inefficiencies. So they kicked me out. And
Listen, Flipper.
Our first recommendation is she's gotta go.
She's got a lot of hot air. A. There is no B.
Yeah.
Just that.
The broken mom can stay along a little
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's about it.
She seems like a power saver at this point.
Yes.
She's got the walker.
Yeah.
It runs things.
Yeah. We hook
Yeah.
that walker
Yep.
up to a windmill. She's good.
She
Just
can
stand
stay.
in
She
place.
contributes,
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah, we're working that out. So
Well, I get the
delightful.
I get the scorecard every couple months.
Me too. I was a 1.
Oh wow.
Oh, not kidding.
That's a shame festival.
I mean, like yeah.
I was
it's
an 8 out of
bad.
10, which
Oh,
I was very proud
nice.
of. And that was for March, and I
fucking
think
show
in January or whatever month it was cold, and I watched everything on TV.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a 5. It was my lowest score ever. It was embarrassing for everyone. We were appalled, but we enjoyed the warmth.
I can believe it.
But I got an
can
8
believe
for
it.
March, and that's when I opened all the windows, and this
Yeah.
all happened.
Yeah. But
This is
that's-
when I decided that, what care I for colds? I'm going to open the windows, as I quote a little
I can
Jane
tell you.
Austen.
What
Doesn't
care I
matter.
for colds?
Awful. Just awful. So now, but at least my little green audit tells me how I can fix some things. So I don't have to move an ant.
Well, and I
can
want to
those
get the
things done.
ductwork clean.
And we had bees. We had the queen. It was in the pool house. Jesus, it's been a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Like all of a sudden I go outside and at the end of the pool house, just swarm
Wow.
that had not been there. Oh, I think it was like 3 hours before I had been out there.
Well, they're quick movers.
They sure as hell are. So I'm like, well, that can't be good. And so then I'm like, well, the pool house, like what they look like they're going up there, and there wasn't any kind of a little honeycomb thing or whatever the hell. And so I'm like, well, where the hell are they? And I see like a bunch of them in the window, like help, help. And I go over, and there are two smaller windows like up front, and I get on my tippy toes, and there are like a bazillion.
Yeah.
Dead. Like just dead. And I look in the little window going in through the door, and there are like a fuck ton of them just flying around. Talk about your horror movie.
Oh my God.
Had it
I
here in the house
mean-
once.
Did
Priest
you
or
really?
Exterminator?
I don't
Priest or
remember
Exterminator?
that. Exterminator.
Okay.
That was the best $200
Close
I've
call.
ever spent.
Yeah, woke up.
And they were like, oh, they'll probably go away. They'll probably go away unless you have the queen. And I said, you haven't
Barbara
met
Sewell
me.
does live in my beach house.
But
Yeah.
quite frankly, I was like, leave it to the gays. Of
Yeah.
course I have the queen there, you know.
I will not be
Please.
undersold.
That's right. So he got the queen, and there was
They
like
leave.
$200.
Yes, the second leave.
Yeah.
Capture the queen. The bells
I-
of innuendo ring.
I woke up one morning. This is many, many years ago. But
To a queen in your bed?
do you remember? Sadly, many, many years ago.
Yeah.
Hi, Joey.
The hi Joey from Canada. Do you remember when the workshop had the little extra little room
Yeah,
in it that I took out to expand that? There was a fake ceiling in that at
Right.
one point, and then it went to the outside,
Okay.
to the eave of the house. Unbeknownst to me, I didn't know there was a little tiny hole. They'd figured out how to get in. They'd built this nest above that, and yada yada. I didn't know anything about this. I think who knows how long they had been there.
Sure.
And I woke up one morning, and you know how like the sun usually comes in from east to west.
East to west, I've
so the
heard.
sun in the
Yeah.
morning
Is that you?
comes in.
Yes, I've heard.
And all the windows in the shop out here on the east end were all dark.
Oh,
And I was walking through the back room, like, why is it so dark in the shop? I didn't know. And they were all on the windows. They had breached somehow in that little room and got in there, and they were all on the windows trying to get out. That's their
Yeah.
whole. They were just they
Right.
were stuck.
Yep.
And I literally stood in there. with a camera.
Hells no.
With a camera. I'll get you the pictures in a minute. I've got the pictures. I took pictures of it all on the windows, and they were all just in there trying to get out. And all I did was I opened the doors.
And they flew out.
And most of them flew out and left. And then I called Exterminator, and they came and they eradicated them. But yeah, they had just come in and they couldn't get out.
Yeah.
So I just opened all the doors. But again, all their concern, they didn't give a shit about me.
Right.
They were looking at how to get out of there.
Right.
So I literally stood right
like
there.
any
and took
queen that's
pictures.
ever been in his house.
These were the worker bees. I don't know where the queen was.
Clamoring at the windows.
Care about her. I just want
A lot of screaming coming from the bedroom, and most of it was because they were trying to escape. But thank you very much. That's a good joke. Thank you, Al Perkins. Bells of innuendo, shove them up your ass.
He might
If it wasn't so funny, my feelings would be hurt.
There is truth in humor.
Oh, but that's terrifying. That's just terrifying.
Oh, honey, it's funny because it's true.
Why is the old man crying? Never mind. Eat your ice cream.
I can't.
It's fantastic.
I feel like I've got like well, my body is falling apart because I told this is the best when used by date is clearly 2017 on my ass. If I could see that far,
Wow.
you know, best if used by date, like on the carton milk. If I could see
hell?
back there, I
Yeah.
swear to God, it says
That's
March of
what it says?
2017. Yeah,
Right.
Also, it says, if you can read this, turn me over.
yeah. Because she's gonna need
If you
help.
can read this, you're too close.
Yeah, I've been on this side too long.
Fantastic. Oh,
So I was,
funny.
I have a couple weeks in between arrangements.
Sure.
So I was like all excited, like, well, if there's an extra shift or if there's any overtime to be had, I'll take it.
Oh, of course you will.
So I picked up a couple extra shifts. It was lovely. It was good nights at work, but then all of a sudden I realized like, oh shit, these 60-hour work weeks kill me. This is why I stopped doing this business.
Yeah.
But
It becomes a lot.
got through it. Can't wait to see that paycheck in 31 hours.
Sure.
Not that you're counting.
Not that we're counting,
We're
but
gonna
I'm
count
gonna
the
need to see
hours
that shit
and the
pay off.
numbers.
Yeah,
That's right, that's
gonna
right.
need to see that ka-ching ka-ching.
Sure.
So, and then it's not an Asian reference. I'm sorry, it's too early for Asian jokes.
You didn't say chink chink.
Chink.
Now,
That's
all
when
right,
you
now I
turn
guess
on,
it
no,
wasn't
that's
too
when
early.
you turn on the light. Like if you pulled on that. Chink, chink.
You can lead a horse to water, and you can make her make a Chinese joke.
But
Two things.
very good. Cat would be
Fair.
proud.
Fair point.
Met up with some friends at work. We had a little team building, friends from work. Did a little team building. We meet up at Rula for a heavier Irish-based meal.
Fair.
So that you can make it further on. And it was just a glorious night to be outside in the desert Southwest.
Good.
So we did the patio there. We're trying to get to the new culinary dropout yard in Tempe, but the train station and the
yard, yeah.
lake and all that stuff got in our way.
Okay.
So we went to Depot Cantina and had iffy
Oh,
margaritas.
okay, yeah.
Another one of those things where like not all change is bad.
Sure.
It's time. If you don't learn to make a better
time to
house
go.
margarita, we're gonna tear your building down. Too late. It happened.
Yeah.
Like that's a
a good call.
shitty house margarita, girls. You got to work on that stuff. Not a sponsor.
No.
Won't ever be.
Won't ever be.
But we went and we did the Luster rooftop bar. It was a glorious night to be
Where
up
is
at-
that?
It's at the
At the Luster.
at the Palomar Hotel upstairs in the Blue Hound City Center.
Oh, yeah.
Kimpton, yeah.
At the Kimpton Palomar, and the rooftop bar was just as lovely as always. It was a beautiful night. It was Sunday night though, so we got the boot because they closed at 10.
Okay.
Then we went to Hanny's.
I
for
saw that you had that,
delicious-
yeah.
Just delicious cocktails and
Very nice.
foodstuffs.
Okay.
It was nice, and then watched
Sounds
some
very
finales.
nice.
And yesterday I realized I have nothing. I have 24 hours with absolutely nothing to do. Like no one needs me. I don't have to be anywhere.
Okay.
If I do the laundry, I do the laundry. If I don't, I don't. So we kind of went halfway.
Okay.
One load's in the dryer, the other load's folded and put away. Who knows what will happen to the one in the dryer?
We're not sure.
We may just wear them right out of there.
Could be.
Turns out it happened today.
Yep. Fair.
So-
And it looks delightful, and you smell
It
lovely.
looks delightful.
All
Smell
the
lovely.
better
Yep,
for it.
Yep. I thought I
So
like it.
it was good. And then today I went and had my meeting with Sergio and had a massage that was turns out much needed. It had been like 2 months since I'd had a massage, and oh sweet Jesus, girl needs those.
I have not.
What's happening there, Star Trek?
Well, that's what I feel like. Aaron and I had our 6-year anniversary.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Thank you. On the 16th, and now that's going. Oh, Jesus, I got too much happening. So for
Lots
our
going on over there.
anniversary, she got me the little Fitbit
Oh yeah.
HR thing, like the heart rate, whatever. And the goddamn thing talks to you and wakes you up and
Start walking.
And
Yeah.
and I thought that I wasn't attached to a phone already. So
Oh.
now when I don't have this, I'm like,
Now she strapped one on.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Honey, when I said strap
that's
on,
all-
That's not what I meant.
Not what I meant.
I want you talking to me.
different a little bit, right?
Close,
right.
but let's try a
Yes,
cigar.
Yes, please, something, just something different. Not
Okay.
that. I don't even. It's fine.
Almost a Cuban reference
Yeah, kind of. Chink chink.
there. Oh, now you're the racist.
Yeah.
But
Everyone's
yeah,
a
so
little
that's
bit
what that
racist.
is. Star Trek. That's my Star Trek.
All right.
So the whole thing, and then I decided I figured out how to beat traffic home from the massage place. Turns out the key is don't go on Camelback.
Fuck no.
Oh, Camelback's
Whatever
awful.
road you can try, just don't make it Camelback. Got home.
Missouri is a much better option.
Yeah, so I
Depending.
drove up to the Missouri, made a right turn at Kansas, and all of a sudden we were here. I told him travel exhausts me. So I went to Rotten Grapes for a little pre-show glass of wine and looked through some headlines. And delightful.
Very
It's right
nice.
outside your back door.
I know. I walked past it last night. That's part of my story of what I've done.
They're getting.
Well, I saw that you went for a heck of a walk.
Yeah, because similar to your Fitbit, remember I told the story, was it last week, about the gift that I thought, well, you're an asshole for getting me a scale.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I did hear you talking
Well,
about that.
the
Nazi torture device. That's how you pronounce it in German.
the app that goes along with said scale that does this wonderful. You weigh in every day at the same
Start
time. You
walking!
do this shit.
Yeah.
It does this curve of it measures weight and time, and then it does heart rate and some cardio profile and all this shit. Well, its goal is for you to walk 10,000 steps a day.
Okay.
Equates to approximately 5 miles. Now you can do that. Like I'm sure Al in an
sure.
average day in the restaurant, you're walking all over the fucking place.
I usually only have 2 patients, so I really walk about 10 feet. Like I don't.
No, I think you walk further than you think you do. I would bet
probably a little, but not much.
So I decided it was a beautiful day yesterday, and unlike Al, I can go outside and breathe.
Exactly.
So I chose
I have an inhaler, damn it!
I chose to walk up the street to the Mad Greens restaurant.
Yep.
Reviews of that coming shortly. So I did that, and I'm like, well, it's a beautiful night. I've got this goddamn phone that tells me that I'm not moving enough. So I'm like, let's move. So I walked down, and I walked all the way from. And for those of you not around here, I realize this is boring as shit to you. But I walked
Not as
from
boring as my house.
Camelback and Central down to Indian School and Central, over to 7th, up to Camelback and across. That's the whole thing is 3 miles square, because it's 2 long miles and then
It's not square for you though. You're walking in a straight line, so it's just
I
3
understand
miles.
that. So I walked and did all that happy horse shit, which got me to well over 12,000 steps for yesterday. Glorious
Nice.
day. I earned
Very
badges,
nice.
things, fireworks went off.
There's a lot happening.
I
You
reported.
can lay down till Wednesday. By my
I
math.
report. Well, we're not doing much today.
Yeah.
I reported over 20 street lights out, which that was my real goal. I'm
Right.
really happy about that.
Yeah.
And I got a barricade company to come pick up all their shit that they had forgotten about.
It's very
the
exciting.
other thing. Yeah. So did all that.
I love that.
The sweet tomatoes is I have issues with
Mad Greens.
two things, or Mad Greens. I'm sorry. I miss sweet tomatoes. That's the problem.
Yeah,
The Mad Greens restaurant, I had a couple problems with. One, I don't know what the girl behind the counter. I'm gonna guess training either just didn't sink into her. She's I think part of what she missed is at this Mad Greens restaurant. Those people on the other side of that counter,
Right.
called customers. Customers need assistance.
Sure.
Especially those of us who pre-announce, this is my first time here. I don't know how this works.
Right.
We got salads over here. We got soup. Oh, you're going to be a bitch.
You're gonna be one of them.
Yeah.
Right,
Found out she's apparently, through another friend who works there, I found out apparently she's a high schooler that, I don't know if this is her first job or her last.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes both.
I kind of feel like she's one of those girls that she thought she wasn't going to have to work, but then mom and dad either got divorced and she has no choice, or mom and dad are like, oh, we're not paying for your shit. You need to get out and work for it.
Yeah.
So she's not happy.
They don't like her at home. You need to
Yeah.
go get a job.
So my issue was, the first thing I did is I saw tortilla soup. There was tortilla soup and a vegetable soup. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're going to try the tortilla soup and I'm going to do this salad. So she's all good. She rings me all up. Everything's happy. And we get down the line and she calls to another gentleman who's working there. The only 2 of them. I need a bowl of the tortilla soup. And he's like, oh, we're out of it.
Oh.
Not a, oh, I'm terribly sorry, we're out of it. Just, oh, we're out of it. Okay. I have 2 problems with this. One, a coworker already knew that they were out. She wasn't updated.
Yep.
Number 2,
Yeah.
those are magnetic signs that are just above that they could have taken down and just said that that's not available today or something.
And some places have an 86 list. I mean, that's kind of where that comes from. Is from restaurants. Is like, and you're there. You were there an hour before they closed. Soups run out.
I get your hypothesis, Mr. Perkins, but
yeah.
I'm not buying it. It's the only 2 goddamn
those-
soups they offer.
But those. Oh, is there only 2?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's it. Those 2. And I'm saying, well, that's a signature.
See, now, at the one that I go to, the wall that the soups are on faces directly west, and I go at sunset, and I can't see what's on that soup
I
board.
know.
So they have to tell me.
No, it's 2. So anyway, I was and again,
When you go again, the tortilla soup is lovely.
I will try that, but
I
I'm
can believe it.
I'm hoping to get somebody else behind the counter, not her.
Yeah. But the IM, and they started out of Denver, or they started out of Colorado.
Okay.
In my mind, they started out of Denver. Because we know a couple of people that have worked for them. And they have an IM Siam salad that's fresh and lovely and
Oh, and I'm sure all that is
Healthy
good
and-
because everything on that all's fresh and she actually got a whole new batch of whatever lettuce it was. I was in my Caesar salad, all well
So
and good. So then I asked her another question. Again, she doesn't have all the information.
yeah.
I said, I like more often than not like a simple. I like what I call a diner salad. Something you go into like literally a diner, and it's just basic. It's iceberg lettuce, it's red onions, it's tomatoes, it's it's just a diner salad.
Yep.
But I said, well, can you just go along this line and make your own salad? And she said, yeah, you can do this, and it's 4 sides, and if you don't do a protein like add a chicken or a shrimp or something, you can add an extra side. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. I said, well, what does that run? I don't know. Why? How come there's nothing up there that says build your own salad and it should say $5 or serve 17 or whatever the fuck it is?
Sure.
Yeah.
It just annoys me. So I immediately text my friend. I'm like, we got a problem. I said my first time here and this one isn't really on the thing. So he was going to check today and find out what was going on with that.
Yeah. But the IM Siam, if you go, is
I saw it on the deal.
It's delicious. That's the best. To me, that's the best salad they have. It's mostly protein. Because when you eat salad, you think, oh, I'm doing healthy, but really you're getting a lot of fat in your salad.
Well, so, especially if you do a lot of dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it's tasty. It's high protein. I'm sure if you have 18 allergies, you can eat most of it. I don't really know. They cater to a lot of stuff.
Generally, it was a good experience. The salad
But
really
their
was
soups
good.
are fresh, so they do run out. And they say that all the time, that they make...
Again, I've been to other restaurants that have a sign that says
Yeah.
subject to availability, and I've been there with that.
Yeah, but it's not really it's not like lasagna where you make one pan. This is one of those things where like you want soup soup running out means that the restaurant's making things fresh. That's a good sign. If they have soup at close,
I get you. I understand.
No, but put a sign up there that just says we're out.
right, and a lot of times
That's
they have
it.
an 86
Yeah.
list. You know what I mean? But a lot of
And that
the
should be-
server should know their
And you're
86
going to sell
list.
this 9 ways to Sunday to me, and I'm not
No,
going to
no,
buy
I'm
it.
not. But if you had a shitty employee, then you had a shitty employee
I
top
did
to
have
bottom.
that. I did have
because
that.
you should know what's on your 86. And
Yeah.
I don't know where that comes from, but I worked in restaurants for a long time. So every restaurant has an 86 list.
Right.
We're just
Like,
out of
you-
it.
You're
No.
just out of it. Like that's
The blender was always broken.
yes, 86 all blender
Always
drinks.
broken.
Always.
That's why there's flowers
I
in
don't
it.
know what happened.
So,
Joan looked at me at Tinseltown one time and she goes, "It's not broken." And I'm like, "It's not?" So I go over there and went to turn it on. I pretended to put some shit in there, did whatever, and then I went like this.
Yeah. Oh, see,
Like until smoke came out of it. I went, "Oh, it is now."
darn the luck.
Yeah.
Shoot.
yeah, we're not making these fucking
I
frozen
know.
drinks.
Sad.
Bastards.
Would you like to talk to Eddie? He's the
Brandy
one in charge of it.
Alexander, you cunt.
Yes.
No, this was because it was for those fucking kids.
I don't care what the reason was.
Yeah, I don't care either.
Bullshit.
I'm
oh,
on board.
I'm not gonna do it.
I
but
make
it
my
was-
own
that
blended
was
drinks
worse.
here in the house, but that's
Right.
my own
I
deal.
agree.
Briefly backtracking. Here are a couple pictures of these. There's one.
Oh my god.
That's one of them from years ago.
Those look like wasps.
No, they were bees. They were, but remember, I'm standing right there. I'm like a foot
Oh
from
yeah,
them.
that's
So
Stand
there's-
right there.
jive fucking enormous. That's
there's
what they
that.
look like. Fuck that.
And then this is a group of them that had all gotten to one area for some reason. But yeah, so
Oh god.
I know exactly what you're talking about with regards to that. There's a.
In all sincerity, those really do in that picture, in those pictures, look like wasps.
They were healthy. They were healthy.
well.
Yeah.
And Rockshot 100, what?
What?
There you have it. Yeah.
Rockshot 100 is listening in the YouTube room, but I don't know the screen name. Does anybody else know the screen name?
I don't know.
I
Who
know.
are you in the YouTube?
Hi.
I will have.
I
to,
just don't know the screen name.
I'm gonna log into the YouTubes over here.
And
on
because
this.
everybody, when you go in like under YouTube, I'm A Perkins, Anant is Anant Dio, and then there's other people that we have found through there. Like Jenny has to, I think Jenny has to use her real name. Oh, hello, and he's and he or she is new.
Rockshot, because
Very
I'm new.
nice. Welcome.
Well, Rockshot,
And
we'd,
hello
welcome.
to you too.
we would like to know more about you, Rockshot. Rocky.
I think Anant just saw the bees.
Yeah.
Oh
On
my
delay.
god.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, what? Oh yeah, that's right. We're on delay.
Currently, there is a nest of them in my chimney, but I don't care. I let them be. No pun intended.
Yeah.
I let them stay there because they don't harm me. Occasionally, they get lost in the house, and I find them trying to get out of the big clean back window. They were trying to figure out how to get out of there, but I just find them, scoop them up, and take them outside. So I'm like, be free. And then today, I got in the mail. I don't know if I brought it up on this or if I just posted it on Facebook. Weeks ago, there was on a cereal box, there was a promotion. If you sent, I think it was registering. No, it was online. Excuse me. It was a Twitter feed from a cereal company that if you sent them a tweet or did something or shared their tweet or whatever it was, they would send you a free packet of wildflowers to help encourage bees.
Oh.
So I sent it, and I got it in the mail today. A little packet of flowers that I will plant next week, and it's just to help encourage bees around because obviously the bees issue has been big for
And
the
I have that little
environmentalists.
bald area in my front planter. I would like some wildflower
Get the
seeds.
wildflower seeds yourself. Yes.
Well, let me put it this way. Did I feel guilty about taking out the
Oh no. No. I understand that. I don't want them in this
That's
house.
what- no, and that's what I had said.
No.
I
I
said,
get that.
Talk to me about the whole the world and bees.
And sometimes they just move them.
Yeah, if they go in, because they hadn't been there long enough. So the queen had come in and was like, I am home.
Right.
And
Do your business.
do your business, my little minion bees. And so they were, I don't know, maybe starting something.
Did you? I learned this on one of those Discovery Nature channels, watching late at night one night. I didn't realize this. The queen bee, when the queen bee is created or born, whatever, when she goes out and she finds where she wants to be, where she wants to live and do all that stuff. So she builds this nest on her own.
Yep.
Builds this nest starts on her own and creates, however she lays her eggs or however the hell that's done, and creates and she takes care of them for however amount of time, and then they are born, right? The new bees are born. Those become her worker bees. Her basically her kids become her worker bees. Yeah. And from that nest, they continue to just lay eggs and build and build. It sounds a lot
like a Mexican family.
And then what happens is...
What?
I didn't say that.
Wow.
No, I don't mean it bad. I'm just saying, there's big families.
As she ages...
Catholics.
As she ages and is no longer able to produce, all of a sudden, the worker bees then turn on the queen and kill her.
Oh.
Kill her, and then either...
So it's the Menendez brothers.
Yes.
You're still trying to get some sort of a Mexican reference out of this. So then
I didn't know
they kill the queen, and either another one within the hive becomes the queen, or they all... Usually it's seasonal, and the bees then die out because they have no queen and they have no purpose then. Sure. And then they all would just die out seasonally, and then it would start over again every season.
So it's like the Guyana tragedy.
Wow. It's a lot of parallels to one bee story.
Like it.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I am Henry the Bee, I am.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so I said I had a story about my mom, which I told about the air conditioner. We got that. Second thing was, oh, by the way, Mom, I hope you renewed the tags on your car because we had to go today and get her car emission tested. And then we had to wash it so we knew what color it was because she hasn't driven it in a little while. So we got that figured out.
Okay.
So I had a story about my mom, which I told your mom. I told about the thing. And then the only story that I have about your mom, which is really not about your mom, but I watched a Betty Davis reference today.
Uh-huh.
Betty Davis's mother was named Ruthie.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know that. I just saw that in an interview today when she was talking about how her mother had always encouraged her and never was a stage mom, never was where she was working, but always encouraged her to, like she sent her to all the schools and sent her to everywhere that she needed to go.
Sure. Encouraged
her in the way that she should have, that's according to what Betty Davis said.
Right.
But then when she said she was referencing something, she goes, yes, and Ruthie, and I went, oh my God, how funny.
Yeah, wait, I'll send you a photo.
Fantastic.
Oh, you have a photo of Ruthie?
Also, Annette, I'm going to disagree with you. Mangoes are not the God's greatest gift to mankind.
Oh, I do enjoy a mango.
I do not.
Oh my God.
I haven't, unless I've just not had...
the Mango Madness or Ultra Mango, whatever the hell it's called, Jamba Juice. Oh, I do enjoy the mangoes. Oh, yes.
I'm sending you...
And Ruben also is a mangoite, if you will. Yes.
The mangite?
I used to, when Ruben was cutting my hair, I would always go get a mango smoothie and take it when I would go, but now he doesn't. Now Frankie does my hair, and I don't know what the hell Frankie drinks. I'll have to find out what Frankie likes. I'll figure that out. Goddamn, we spent an hour. There's just three of us, and we've spent an hour on this.
We can kill any amount of time you have.
We're catching up.
Oh, my God.
So I will, I just sent you a photo to share with the group, which we can use for several things.
Let me go grab that right quick. Go ahead. If you were going to say something else, I thought you were.
No, but I thought you might enjoy that.
Oh, wait. Oh, now that you say that, because we did show this picture before, and I had forgotten about this. You did show us this. I thought you were going to send me a picture of her and her mother. I'm sorry. Hang on, I'll show.
As far as I know, no, I don't even want to say it out loud.
So this is the picture of their. What do you call that? Not a grave. It's a grave site, but it's
her tomb, her tomb, her mausoleum, or whatever you want to call it.
Got it. So if you look,
if you can forward it on that, it says she did it the hard way, and her mother and sister are both buried there.
Right. So
Ruth and Barbara.
There would be the Davises.
Middle name Favor.
Ruth Favor Davis.
Probably her maiden
name. Sure.
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, good point.
But Bette Midler was named after Betty Davis.
Oh.
But her mother had never heard the name said out loud.
Oh.
So she just assumed that Bette was pronounced Bet.
Got it.
Okay.
So because she'd never heard it. So by the time she heard someone say Betty Davis and realized that she was pronouncing it wrong,
she was already established.
Bette Midler.
Bette Midler.
It had been too long to change her name back, but that's who Bette Midler is named after.
That's cool.
I like that.
Uh-huh.
I like that.
Nicely
They're
done,
both
Ms.
brashy.
Yes, very much so. It was an interview that I saw that she had done in 72. She's overseas, and I forget, it's an acronym, like something film committee or something over in London. And it was the first time I've seen Betty Davis just almost giddy and laughing in an interview. It was very funny to see her that way. Very interesting.
She doesn't come across like that at all.
Yeah, there's some you can find some lighter stuff
it was
with
enjoyable.
her.
It was fun. On the other one, YouTube sucks you in with everything.
Most of the stuff on YouTube though is from after the stroke. Like there's
I don't
not.
think this is all pretty.
There's not a lot. Well, there's some stuff from you can find some Johnny Carson stuff where she's light and funny, but
when she's going off on
she's always
Faye
a little bit
Dunaway,
bitter.
the Carson interview, it's a minute and a half. She goes off on Faye Dunaway because he asks her, "Who in the business do you not like to work with, or would you rather never have to work with again?" And she thinks about it. And she goes, "For $1 million, Faye Dunaway." And Carson is like, "Oh," she goes, "Oh my God." And she goes, "Anybody that would sit in this chair will tell you the same thing."
Yeah.
And then she tells the story, which is represented in the final episode of Feud.
Okay.
Where Faye Dunaway was apparently notoriously late and never made her call times at all when she was supposed to. And
Betty
Betty
Davis
Davis
hated
that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she would have.
Yeah. Hated
So,
me.
but she tells this story about everybody, and she's like, "Oh, Faye Dunaway, she's all about Miss Dunaway. Don't have time for her." It was just kind of funny to watch her say that.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'd
It's all
never,
catty
I'd
about it. I
not
like
heard that story.
it. That's awesome.
Too fun,
I
too
like it.
fun.
Don't forget to send me the plumber.
Oh, and her name is really Dorothy Faye Dunaway. I always wondered, like, is her name really fake? That's a great name, but I
It
never
is.
believe it.
Yeah, I agree.
But allegedly gruesome to work
Well,
with.
wait a minute. Now, Faye Ray, what was her real name? Was that, or was it Faye? Because I've always liked the name Faye.
I also don't know how Faye Ray. Oh, she spells it differently. She spells it F-A-Y. Vina Faye. Her first name was Vina.
Vina.
I don't know of that one. That's fun.
Vina, if you will.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm
there you
just
go.
making things up.
Huh. There's
right,
so
so
much to
nice.
learn.
Onwards
No.
and upwards, girl.
Onwards and upwards.
Of course there
Good call.
is.
It's a good call.
Of course. Break.
I
do
like it.
this.
How was the show last week?
We had a good time.
I listened like for a couple
did
of minutes.
A little short. We did a short show. A little
Okay.
shorter. Like 20 minutes shorter.
Okay.
Which was fun for the listeners and us.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard a very, very limited amount.
Well,
it,
I'm
so.
sure you were busy doing something.
Yes.
Something next to nothing but different
But different than that.
than the day before.
That's correct.
By the way,
Far.
just passed the anniversary of his passing, too. We did.
Prince, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, last Friday. So I listened to a couple of those tunes, enjoying him.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
Okay, well, kids, guess what? We're coming back with a, what do we call it? Oh, it's the drink disclaimer here in just a few minutes. So stand by. It's Q Talk America, and you are trapped in a 3-hour show.
Oh, a raisin rehydrator. It turns them back into grape.
Wow, what an exhausting journey.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
If you think it sucked so far, just wait till after this 30-second dance break.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
FBI.
All right, well, in honor of the feud finale, our drinking word's going to be Trog!
What is that? Well, that's your co-star.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm sure we're going to get into that in a few minutes because we've no choice. We've got to talk about that when we get there. Oh my God, Marn, you ready to pull this off? You think we can do it?
Well, maybe.
Well, let's see what we do. Here we go.
All right.
Let's try it. See what happens. It's headlines. It's a Tuesday night. Get ready. Hold your wig and keys. Here we go. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't transfer my file over here. Go, Marnie. Just go.
The most unhinged moments about Alec Jones.
Oh.
Oh, that's exciting. Keep going. I don't have my file.
Okay, then there's that other story about something.
Keep going.
Okay, and then
I'm just gonna go get my goddamn file
I
because I,
think that
fucked
you
it
should,
all up.
and
Or we can start this all over.
we should.
Okay, fuck it. We're gonna start over. You
Thanks.
two.
Oh,
you two.
Jesus, that's great.
You two talk about something. We're
Oh
gonna
my
start
God.
this over.
Huh? Well, that just stressed me out a lot.
Trog. All right.
Trog.
Okay, of all the times
stressed
to
me out
not
a
do
lot.
a 30-second dance break, da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm gonna go get some wine.
All right. Well, I'm gonna talk to myself.
Go ahead. Hold on.
Anyway. Well, when I was a little girl. Hey, I'm telling a story about when I was a little girl. And then. That's all. I can't talk about it anymore because Al's here now.
Oh my goodness. So, wines of France.
Ugh.
So Trog, if you haven't get it, it's
Yeah, what is that reference?
Joan Crawford's pretty much last movie. She did do a couple things afterwards, but it's her last big credit, and she honestly wanted to play a scientist in one of the first big movies of, oh god, I don't remember if it was the talkies or if it was actually a silent. It was about Madame Curie.
Oh, okay.
And she campaigned to play it, but she was she was always the pretty girl. She wasn't considered an actress that could play Curie. So she accepted this role that's pretty much like, oh god, what's that movie with Brendan Fraser where he's the
Encino Man?
Encino Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much like they find Trog. It's just short for like troglodyte or some shit like that. And it really is just campy, but they play it on American movie classics or Turner movie classics all the time.
Okay.
Because
I'll
it's
have to
kind of
look.
like one of those things where like she's not awful in it. It's a terrible movie, but you're kind of like, all right, she's all right.
She's okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was an independent film until Sunday, because I never paid attention to it.
I mean, there's really no way to know whether something is independent or not from back then. You know what I mean? You kind of have to hear the story or find out.
Well, I
like,
assumed that story was remotely accurate. For what
oh
they
no.
told.
But I'm saying there's no way you would know. Like, is The Exorcist was that a major studio release or
Oh,
was
I
it an
see.
independent? Like,
I see what you're
there's
saying.
no way you would know that.
I see what you're saying now.
It's kind of the beginning of it. Like Easy Rider is kind of independent, but it's kind of mainstream now, so you don't think of it that way.
Okay.
Okay.
Depending on who financed it.
Marn,
Yeah.
are we good now for you? Because I'm set now. We're good. We can do
you-
this.
are
We
you
can
ready?
pull this off.
Yeah.
Pull one off.
Yank it.
Meow cow need a record scratch. Well, I'll also
I
get
do like
I'll
that.
also get a cassette somewhere so that it can just stretch out and play slowly. We'll do that too.
There you go.
Here we go. Let's try this again. It's headlines. My gosh, we're gonna get through this by hook or by crook. It's show 303. It's April 25th, 2017, and here we go. A Texas mayor explains how poverty is caused.
Alex Jones is unhinged.
Where did you get that mud anyway?
You should fuck me.
I'd fuck me.
No yogurt for you.
Eric Trump thinks people are mean.
Now that's a fire.
Scott Baio's a dick.
Oh.
And a man dies in 1972 and turns up alive and well on Ancestry.com today.
Frederick Douglass.
Hey,
Or Luciano Pavarotti.
Could be.
Which
I
one?
like it. I like
Either
it.
one. It doesn't matter.
You know, Trump and Luciano are great friends.
Of course they
The
are.
best
They're
friends.
very
Huge. The hugest.
Very,
Hugest
very.
of friends.
Nobody's ever been a better friend.
Well, they're greatly friends.
They're greatly
Sure
friends.
they are.
Bigly.
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 I don't know how many
Hugely.
people have heard of this story. It popped up last week in my news feed, and I meant to share it last week, but here we are. Mayor Ivy Taylor of San Antonio, Texas, shared her own personal theory on why poverty exists during a mayoral candidate forum on April 3rd. People just aren't turning to God anymore, and that is why.
Sure.
Megan Legacy, the director of the San Antonio Christian Resource Center, asked during the forum, the question posed to the mayor was, what do you see as the deepest systemic cause of generational poverty here in San Antonio? And the mayor replied, well, I'll go ahead and put it out there. She says, to me, it's broken people. People not being in a relationship with their creator, and therefore not being in a good relationship with their families and their communities, and not being productive members of society. I think that's the ultimate answer. Well, now nearly 15% of the city's population in San Antonio live below the poverty line. So this kind of answer is probably not going to sit real well with all those constituents out there who predictably caused some backlash after the comments were posted then online. Taylor claimed that her comments were, quote, intentionally edited to mislead viewers, though a live stream video that's on YouTube of this shows no signs of editing at all. That is exactly what she said. There's no way to get around it. She says, quote, I've devoted my life to breaking the chains of generational poverty. She wrote in a statement to the San Antonio Current newspaper, I've done so because my faith in God and my belief in Jesus' ministries on this earth. Give me a fucking break.
For real.
He doesn't really do the ministries anymore. He's really not in the hands-on part of the...
No. But I'm just like, give me a break. You're going to try to tell me that people are poor. That's why.
Right.
I think
because they don't have God.
Right. Families aren't together.
Christian people are rich.
They're
Duh.
Oh,
Always. No exceptions.
Yeah, no exceptions.
Always. No exceptions.
There would never be an exception.
I'm pretty sure there's some wealthy atheists out there. Ron Reagan is one.
Wealthy, though.
Yeah, but how
He's
wealthy?
not living
Well, he's saving money
poverty.
on food.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He got that from Nance.
He secretly believes in God. He just tells everyone
No.
he doesn't. That's why he's rich.
But
Give me a fucking
break. They weren't wealthy. Like, they weren't wealthy people. They had their ranch, but they weren't particularly wealthy.
But still, he's not poverty stricken.
No. But
Right.
but
He's not living hand to mouth.
Right.
Like
But the
poverty
Reagans were not a rich bunch. As we've learned, that Hollywood money goes away
Oh yeah, quickly. Yeah.
pretty quickly.
Especially with the old contracts from yesteryear, you didn't have any residuals.
Sure.
And he was working with a monkey most of the time.
That's true. Who got paid more?
Would you leave Nancy alone?
Yeah, I know. Sorry, titless wonder. Skinny bitch.
Bitch. So Alex Jones is something.
He
That
is.
one.
He's
That
precious.
one. I appreciate that one of the words that they use in here is bombastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Trog.
super true.
Can you just get the
Trog.
ass in there?
Yeah,
He's
that's true.
He puts the
That's
ass in
true.
bombastic.
I mean, he's difficult to look at.
just a fat blowhard.
And he just, all he does is scream and rant, and it's weird.
It isn't insane to me to watch any clips of him because I'm like, how can you function as a human being that whacked the fuck out of your mind?
Huh? Yeah.
I mean,
conspiracy.
He's gonna stroke out or have a heart attack right on the air.
He makes Manson look pretty calm.
He actually does. He actually does. And he does his podcast kind of thing out of his
Charles
home.
Manson, in his defense, had a calm, reasonable approach to murder.
You know, quite frankly, he did have a wonderful demeanor. And he didn't actually kill anyone.
No. I don't,
His radio show was charming.
I can believe it.
I imagine.
He has a lovely voice.
Sure it is.
Lovely
voice.
Yes, he has albums.
It's a shame Sean Spicer can't comment because I'm sure he would compliment Manson.
I'm sure. Yes.
Well, all of the
Well, because it wasn't his band, Manson and the Jews?
well, and you remember they were all in the Helter Skelter centers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
The clubs.
The
Yes,
chambers.
Sure.
Yep, exactly.
Continue on
Yes.
with Mr. Jones.
Well, he wants you to know because he's going through a custody battle.
Oh, he is.
Oh, he
He
is.
is fighting.
He's not this crazy fucking whack job that he presents himself to be. He is a performance artist.
Is that what we're calling it?
A performance artist.
In court, that's what he's calling
Trog.
it. No, yeah,
Right,
literally.
right. They're
literally
attempting
that.
to persuade the jury right now that he is merely a, quote, performance artist, unquote. Someone who should be separated from the outrageous character he plays on air. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, you're not Colbert, sweetheart.
Yeah, right. His ex-wife is arguing the opposite, though, that Jones in private is the same person at home and with their children that he presents
And
to
you gotta
millions of
And you got to
conspiracy
think
theories.
she's got to be a peach too. I mean, if she's been around this, I mean, is she is just brainwashed, or did she finally have lunch with the girls at the club and be like, they're like, honey, you need to get out of this, and she woke up. I mean, I don't know,
Something.
but otherwise she's got to be fucking crazy too.
Well, yeah. To even get with
Him,
somebody
right.
like that. Yeah, absolutely.
He's just giving another bad name to the Jones family. I mean, you've got the Jonesboro,
Yeah.
Jonestown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and it's either Kool-Aid or
Yes,
chili,
exactly.
apparently, or chili, because Jones claims that chili affects his memory. And thus was the culprit behind him forgetting details about his kids.
Details.
Like who their mama was.
or who they were?
During the deposition, Jones couldn't remember his kids' teachers' names. Man said, it'll pop into my head. I ate too much chili.
Shut up. That's going to be my new one.
That's some good chili.
No kidding.
Right? Yeah.
I am on board for this.
Yeah, full mind eraser, chili deposition. Quote, attorney, does chili affect your memory, Jones? Big bowl of chili sure does, yeah.
Can't remember the question. What
yeah,
was it?
what was it? I had chili.
But I always say, if you're going to lie to me, let me like myself while I listen to your lies. So if you tell me I ate so much chili I can't remember who you are, that's good. Okay. I'll accept that. I don't believe you,
No,
but at
right,
least
right.
I'm amused by the fact that you're
You
going to
think-
sell me
right.
chili causes amnesia. I get to have 5 or 6 good minutes of fun while you continue on with your bullshit.
Well,
I just wonder who said that. I mean, he has a lot of alt facts. Completely.
Oh.
But somewhere, hang on. Keep going. I'm going to look up something.
yeah, because, one of his other things was about marijuana. Now, thank God for him.
Was the chili an edible?
Then it would
Yes.
work. Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah.
Shaped like a bean.
Right?
Shaped like a
So marijuana is too strong these days because of billionaire financier George Soros.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jones said he sometimes smokes marijuana, nearly yearly.
Not.
But there's a purpose, guys. There's a purpose to monitor its strength because that's how law enforcement does it. He then added that he tested it because he believes it is now too strong. A development he blamed on billionaire and political donor George Soros.
Trog.
Wow, Trog, who he claimed in court as brain damaged a lot of people. Alex Jones testifies that he smokes marijuana to monitor its strength and adds it's now too strong because of George Soros. That was the whole.
Oh.
The
Oddly, I drink Crown Royal
Yeah.
just to make sure that they keep it pure. I want the consistency to be there.
and thank God for you.
Yeah,
because
sure.
lots of people talk about that.
And
at
people
Total
thank you for your
Wine,
services.
At Bevmo.
It's like
People are like, wow.
It's like you and Ultimate Vodka, Al.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Totally.
Quality check.
Hunt it down, drink it. Yep, that's still vodka.
Something
Yep.
that sounds delightful, and by delightful I mean I
Not
might
spending time with
vomit.
him.
Jones can allegedly be found frequently drunk and shirtless because that would be pretty.
And still screaming, Trog!
Dog!
Drunk and shirtless.
Kelly Jones' attorney argued that Alex is fond of disrobing off air as well, including during counseling sessions. Apparently, he's
Oh.
yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Now we're gonna
Freak.
need another counseling
Right.
session.
Well, I think he has to pay extra for that.
Halfway through the counseling session, gonna need another
Well,
counseling
there's
session.
a thing that he's real bitter about.
I'm sorry. Can you bring in Bill O'Reilly?
Yes.
We're going to
Yeah.
need some backup
We're gonna
on
need
this.
something.
We need someone to not touch this.
Can't touch this. So apparently, according to
Bill
the-
O'Reilly swears he never touched anyone.
not at well,
Trog.
apparently Alex Jones is a little bit bitter. That is
Just a
not
little bit.
a skosh bitter. That his 9/11 truther theories never garnered him a Pulitzer Prize, of course. Another classic Alex Jones riff caught on tape, grousing that he never got a Pulitzer. Don't even want that for telling the truth about 9/11 was something that they put on, one of the people put on Twitter because that's what he went off on.
Oh, I mean, and that's how I found him. Was at
remember you
some
saying that.
point I had, you hear a story or something about 9/11, and you're like, all right, I got a day to kill on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Rack up the videos, Trog. Let's see this go on.
Yeah.
And you kind of, there's a couple things that just don't make sense, and you can see
True.
being suspicious. A couple things are like, that's live on TV, and I'm pretty much seeing the same thing you're seeing. Like, unless they're hiding 292 people somewhere, I think that plane's gone.
Yeah.
But there really is something there's a question there somewhere, and a question is fine. You don't have to buy everything hook, line, and sinker. You can have a question about this, that, or the other.
Sure.
Why no tourist had a camera near the Pentagon? I don't know.
Right.
Planes right there.
Well, they come in pretty quickly. I mean, you couldn't necessarily whip out your camera that fast.
Right, but
But it's weird.
you're also in a tourist area.
Right.
But why doesn't every Asian that's there have a click, 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 click?
Exactly. There's an appropriate joke, and the fact that the plane
There's your Asian joke.
it hit the first floor of a building. It didn't
Yeah.
hit the 97th floor. It hit floor
Ground
one.
and floor, yeah.
So there's those questions of like if they didn't learn how to land a plane, how they learn how to hit a bullseye
Right.
on the first floor in a 737. You know what I mean? There's a couple questions that we need to know.
Beginner's luck.
Right, exactly. Like they didn't know how to land, but
No.
god damn, they were good at almost landing.
They got close.
Yeah. And then there's some things that turn around and show you something different, and I guess they just recently released more photos.
Okay.
Conveniently, 16 years later, there's some more photos available from around the Pentagon. Or you also don't know if is there something secret going on at the Pentagon, something X-Files like related
Right.
that they don't allow camera, like they just stole everybody's cameras and there's only the Zapruder film. So there's all kinds of weird Trog like events
Yeah.
that make you ask, but then you find out. So then you watch a couple of videos of his and you're like, okay, I have a question. I don't believe you, but at least you raised some doubt.
Sure.
I've got a question. And then you start watching the rest of his shit and you're like, oh no, I am so
I'm good.
sorry that
Yeah.
I followed
Yeah.
you down this trail because
Yeah.
now I want to kill you.
Yeah.
And luckily Bill Maher, who's been, we're 25 years into the Bill Maher experience. He's been calling this guy an asshole since day
one.
Because he's
one.
fucking crazy.
Well, and remember, we talked about this. Actually, I don't think you were here last week. We brought up he's also the guy who thinks that all of Sandy Hook is a complete
Yeah. Oh,
actors
right.
and a myth.
Oh yeah, no, I mean his,
So between the
his
two-
list
Right.
goes on and on and on. But
Yeah.
and seriously, and I
If there's nuts,
heard of him,
there's
and
him.
then 2 weeks later on, or the next, it wasn't that much longer because politically incorrect only lasted a couple weeks after 9/11 because the only person that lost his job over 9/11 was Bill Maher.
Okay.
So on there, he started because Alec Jones started right away trying to make a name for himself, and Bill Maher had all those controversial statements that got him fired from ABC, and that's why he's on HBO now. But one of the things
And better
he did,
for it.
Oh, and one of the things he did was take down Alec Jones, like Alex Jones. I don't know what his name is,
Yeah,
but
Alex Jones.
Alex, yeah.
yeah.
Ugh. He's just in.
But the fun part is if you've been watching him since Comedy Central and then ABC and now HBO, a lot of those same guests have been following him. Like, what's that crazy?
Ann Coulter.
No, yes, Ann Coulter's been on all three shows. Ann Coulter's been around since the very beginning. That's how
Michelle
I know who she
Bachmann.
is. She's younger. She was really young at the time. She was just on the last version of CNN Crossfire that lasted like one episode.
Oh, yeah, with Newt Gingrich.
Yeah, with Newt Gingrich.
And I forget the other guy, but yeah, like it was on. I didn't even realize it had.
Scotty Nels Hughes.
I saw the previews.
Young.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
used to be young, but now she's 20 years older.
Tommy Lahrens.
No.
like-
Like I think she wasn't even alive then. I don't think. But anyways, whatever this girl's, and she was just on this last week on Real Time that she's been on for, and she was a very very young when she started, very conservative.
Hello, Aaron.
But all of a sudden went
Hi.
to, she was pro gay marriage, so she lost, and now she's anti-Trump, but not really. She's kind of like anti everything he stands for. Oh god damn it! She's young. She's a conservative young woman. 20 years later, reddish hair, real put together. Wears glasses, but it's not Kennedy. Kennedy's the other one. She's the same age as Kennedy.
Ashley
Banfield.
Banfield.
No, actually, Banfield's Canadian. God damn it. It's going to drive me crazy. Let me look up Crossfire.
That's the only one I was just thinking of. The hair color and whatever, but that no. And while you're looking that up, I thought that the tie-in with Dick Bag in Chief is that
Back.
for real.
Essie Cup. And
sure.
Essie
Okay.
Cup had
That's right.
she had the billboards in LA with the Essie like taking a dick in her mouth. And everybody was all like, why aren't they standing up for her? And like, she doesn't stand up for women's rights. Why would
Right.
women stand
Why
back
are
up
we
for
gonna do
her?
that? Sure.
Kind of like Sarah Palin cunt Trog for
Yeah.
this week,
Oh.
who's like, well, women who are being abused at work they shouldn't stay at a job for the paycheck. They should leave and go get a different job. Okay, so now it's the victim's fault again. So now we're back to
She's a
men should molest people that stay at their job. Like she's
And if you dress
that is one
inappropriately, you deserve it.
motherfucking Trog there.
Seriously.
But so S.E. Cupp is her name. But the
Yeah.
only person who came to her defense about the dick in the mouth billboard was Bill Maher because
Okay.
he'd known her for years, and he got one because it was one of those groups that's offended by everything.
Okay.
So he had said something and got the dick in his mouth billboard too.
Got it.
And so he was like, I hope that S.E. Cupp likes this, but I'm telling her to celebrate the dick in her mouth because I did. Like, I
Sure.
took it the right
Sure.
way.
Sure.
So, anyways, but S.E. Cupp has been around for
For a while.
years.
Yeah.
She was on the Comedy Central version when she was a child.
Interesting. Yeah, the last thing that is on here about his unhinged moments is that it was a case manager said that Alex Jones, this is going to be shocking. This is really breaking news.
Yeah.
Okay. It really is.
He's a Trog.
Well, Alex Jones was diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder.
Shocking.
It's fucking startling is what that is.
So I'm going to let me throw you out some other people who might be diagnosed with this.
Trump. Right?
Bill O'Reilly. And I can't get a grip on. No, can't get a
Nugent,
grip on.
Ted Nugent.
And again, I'm going to put him in the category of the one I was going for. But Sean Hannity and Ted Nugent, I want to TV diagnose them.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like they did for the girl in Florida who
Right.
could see balloons.
Sure.
But I can't. Like there's something so off about Sean Hannity and that You're a Great
Shivo.
American
Right. And Spicer.
that I just want to like take a little saw,
Yeah.
cut off the top of his head, and just look inside and be like, what the fuck?
What?
Is going
Oh,
on?
maybe you
that's
need
what
to have Ben Carson do that because you've heard he's a neurosurgeon.
If he could stay awake for the whole sawing,
He's the head of HUD.
Sure.
He's the head of HUD.
Right, but he's still
very
on
busy.
Earth.
He's very busy.
He's the best neurosurgeon that's ever been head of
Ever
HUD.
been.
Ever been.
Ever.
Yeah.
Bigly.
Bigly.
Huge.
But Alex Jones, that fucknut.
He grew up around projects. He should be the HUD manager.
And he shows up at weird things. And Aaron, it's good that you're here. S.E. Cupp, I feel like for some reason, and correct me if I'm wrong, she has some connection to Comic Cons. Like she shows up somewhere. She has some connection to something where she shows up at weird things, and it might just be an attention-getting thing.
Okay.
But Alex Jones does too. He shows up at some of these
Didn't
like
realize
nerd
that.
sites and just gets shit, and then he posts it to show how the mainstream media is after him.
Oh, got
so
it.
and I feel like S.E. Cupp tried that a couple times because she was on the Blaze for a while with oh god, what's the Mormon crazy's name?
Oh wait, you talking about?
Glenn Beck.
Oh, that one.
Glenn Beck.
He's
Like-
Mormon.
I wasn't going
I didn't
there.
realize that.
Oh yeah, he
either.
comes and goes on the Mormon thing.
Oh.
He comes and goes on all of them. But oh, she crazy. Turns out I was right. She's 37 years. She's 38 years old.
Funny.
She,
So there we have it.
Your turn.
Hang on. I'm trying to think of a line that John Oliver said. I was watching something from a couple weeks ago where he was making a reference to some group that produced more Mormons, and he's what is oh my god, why can't I think of his name? Who's the Mormon guy that was trying to run for president? God, why can't I think of his name?
Wait, say again.
The little guy from Utah?
Yeah.
The third
Oh,
party guy?
yeah.
Not
Evan.
Jason.
No.
Evan.
Oh, Mitt Romney.
Mitt
Romney.
the big
Whatever
guy.
his wife's name is. I can't think of what her wife's name is. The John Oliver line was, this
can
group
see her.
produces more Mormons than Mrs. Romney.
Yeah.
And I was like, fantastic
Oh, that
line.
is
That was
great.
very, very funny. Completely,
going to look it up.
completely switching gears. Nordstrom, and I know we all shop at Nordstrom. I don't because I don't want to spend $480 on a toothpick holder.
Oh, good call.
Nordstrom has lit the internet on fire with another expensive product that many are just calling stupid and ridiculous, and I think we all three will as well.
Okay.
On its website, the department store is selling a pair of $425 jeans that is covered
Oh yeah,
in
fake mud.
fake mud.
Yeah.
They are called Barracuda straight leg jeans. The Barracuda straight leg jeans feature obvious splashes of what Nordstrom calls caked on muddy coating, giving the effect of being worn on a day in the dirt.
You're an ass. You're a trog.
In its description for the pants, the company says they embody rugged Americana workwear that seems some hardworking action.
No, yeah, they represent, but they don't in any way.
And when worn, they also say in their description, and when worn, they show that, quote, you're not afraid to get down and dirty.
Oh my God.
But you are a little bit because you went out and bought the dirt. No, I'm
and
gonna
not
say
just that, but hashtag white women and white men and white privilege.
this.
problems.
This is the male yoga
Fuck
pant.
you.
So
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
I want to kill
Yeah.
you with a unicorn Slurpee
Yeah.
or whatever
So
they're called.
when he discovered the product earlier this week, Dirty Jobs host Mike Rowe, who I really enjoy all of his shows. I don't agree with all of his political filings, but his shows to me are fun and funny
They
because
seem to be dirty jobs.
he does a lot of he goes to farms and wrestles with pigs and does things and all kinds of stuff that you just don't always do. Anyway,
That's your dating channel, isn't it?
his Micro posted about them on his website saying that Nordstrom jeans were proof of our country's war on work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the God's
They're a
honest-
costume for wealthy people who seek work as ironic and not iconic. Rowe wrote Monday on his post titled Jeans Made to Look Like You Work Hard So You Don't Have to. On Fox News Tuesday, the Fox and Friends co-host Brian Kilmeade and Ainsley Earnhardt criticized the jeans, with Kilmeade saying, quote, if you're going to wear muddy jeans, you should earn the mud. The most logical thing I've ever heard come out of Fox.
I gotta change my vote. I cannot agree with Fox and Friends. They're beautiful, and all men should wear them.
Earnhardt said that
Hold on. Breaking news. I can't.
Earnhardt also said she thinks the pants are, quote, for the kid who inherits the millions of dollars, the kid who doesn't want to work hard and then wants to go to Nordstrom, pay a lot of money, and act like they worked hard. Nordstrom got ripped by critics back in 2016 for selling average rocks wrapped in leather for $85 each. The store also recently started selling $95 mom jeans that have clear plastic panels on the legs to allow the wearer to show off their knees. Don't know why they would do that, but they did.
Because they're getting on them.
I don't.
Are you
In order
having a
to
stroke? Because I don't believe any of those words are on that page in
Do
front
you
of you.
smell toast?
Would you like to read?
Yeah.
I don't write
Go
this
make
shit.
toast.
I just cut
Make
and
it
copy
so.
and paste it.
Isn't that insane, though?
That's completely insane. I mean,
That-
seriously, I have had jeans that have legitimately looked like that after a day of
working.
really.
Yeah.
But no. The goal is for them to not look like that. I get that, but
Now, so there's
$425?
absurd.
It's completely
Absurd. And you have the idea that anyone would go out and buy jeans that have the holes in them, right? I do. But, back in the day, that was like created when we were growing up.
Of course,
the tough skins, but
Oh, I was even thinking back in when you had the acid wash, the cut jeans, the torn jeans.
that's what
You already
that's
had
actually
all
what
of
I was
those
joking about.
stone
Right.
washed.
Uh-huh.
Because I remember back, why in the hell would you buy jeans that already look
Right.
worn?
Right. Right.
I
But
remember
that was-
hearing about that. I think that, though, I understand the argument. I think that is a far cry from
Big
these
time.
jeans
I know it.
that have permanent, quote, mud stains in them that they never come out.
for almost $500.
Right.
Right. Because
Yeah.
that can't feed people.
Yeah,
That can't,
I-
I mean, it just, not that I haven't shit out money for ridiculous things, but
But when you're
That?
paying $500 for jeans, I'm gonna take that little saw and cut your head open
Oh,
and be like,
even if you're paying $500
What's
for
in
jeans
here?
that are brand new and
Right,
perfect,
right.
I still have an issue with that. Mm-hmm. I about choked the day that I had to go pay full price for Levi's at Macy's for $80. Granted, I don't have any problem with Levi's. They work perfectly. They hold up. They're rugged jeans. I'm happy with that. But still, it's like, God damn. I remember when
80?
when jeans were like $25, $30.
still at Target. Target
yeah,
still has
you
them.
still can get them.
Well, then I'll have to go visit the Target.
Yeah.
I was in a
Target
That's where I buy my jeans because
Yeah.
I'm like, jeans and sneakers. You're not getting money out of
Got
it.
And the mom jeans
I'll
with
buy
the,
new cars
the
before I'll spend that
knees-
kind of money.
mom jeans with clear panels in the sides so you could show their knees. I don't understand why. To me, not in most of
Make sure they haven't given a blowjob.
I don't know. Well, they got pregnant. We know that at some point
There
they
you go.
did not give
There
a
you go.
blowjob. We understand that.
Yep. That's a good call.
They are with giraffe.
No
When
mas
will-
giraffe.
When will that thing land?
Those giraffes.
Oh, it already did.
yeah.
No, I know.
Oh yeah,
know.
she shit that out finally.
Finally.
God
Finally.
damn.
Also,
A weary
Ann
world
Romney.
rejoices.
Ann Romney.
Romney.
That is correct. That's
Yep.
what he said.
Ann
This group produces more Republicans than Ann Romney. And I about fell out of my recliner. That was so funny.
Yep. That I agree. Oh, he's fantastic.
He's the best part about it. Yeah. There's so much to watch on Sunday night. No one's got that kind of time.
Well, I had said earlier you should fuck me. And that's awkward. Put the lotion in the basket.
You've got the right lotion.
Come here, precious. So here's the deal.
God.
There was a GOP candidate. God, that's so weird that it would be a Republican.
Yeah.
Family values.
Family values, yay!
Yay!
Who was also a former contestant on President Donald Trump's The Apprentice.
Oh.
So a Republican running for a seat in the New Jersey General Assembly has lost the GOP support after a video surfaced of him hitting on women. Or a woman. We're not sure.
Using that line? Oh, that's priceless.
Brian McDowell, a former contestant on The Apprentice, who just filed a petition to run for office last month, was caught on tape asking a woman to sleep with him, slurring his words as he spoke. He says, let me tell you right now, you should fuck me.
Celebrity voices impersonated.
Yeah.
It would be really good, McDowell says in the video. Listen, you never know.
You don't know who I am, Trog.
You're going to wish you fuck me someday. The footage prompted Cape May County Republicans to pull their support of his campaign. And he told the outlet that he won't end his campaign because of the video. There are human errors. You ready? This is my favorite part of this whole area. There are human errors. And even Jesus dropped the cross 3 times, he said. I'm not running to be the Pope. I'm running to make New Jersey more affordable.
Jesus dropped his torture device 3 times.
3 times.
This is a picture
Not
of this.
because he was lazy. Oh, yeah, he looks like the type.
Oh, he sure does. Yep. There
Just a
are
little saw right around the hairline.
Yep. There are human errors, he says, and even Jesus dropped the cross 3 times. I'm not running to be the Pope. I love that.
Because you can't. Well, I guess you can.
Well, President Donald Trump has shown that you can make questionable comments and still get elected to office.
Oh, no.
So many, thought that he would have
Actively assault women and still be president.
Oh, grabbing him by the
Pussy.
Anyway,
presidential to say pussy now. You don't
it
have
sure
to-
is.
yeah.
Absolutely. Meowing is
Deeply
going on
presidential.
all over Washington. But,
My
he
cat's
obviously-
hungry.
What? Get the kitty. That's right. What? Meow.
Yeah, drop.
Drop the cat.
That's right. Just drop the cat. Drop it.
I need to see both hands.
Drop
sir.
it like it's hot.
Yeah, I'm going to see both your hands. Well, that cat's in the room. Both hands. Up here.
Yeah.
Just don't fuck the cat, please. One
Please,
thing.
not again.
Anyway, so yeah, he might be running.
And where is he running?
New
Jersey,
Jersey,
it
of
sounded like.
course. Yeah.
There's
He was
just...
under Chris Christie, but he got a little suffocated.
Was he flat? Is he flat now?
Exactly.
Pancake.
It's a new weight loss system. Under
Exactly.
Chris Christie.
Exactly. Yep. Smush.
I stole that line from the Dean Martin Celebrity Roast when they were doing Orson Welles.
Yeah.
Don Rickles is like, Orson has been married several times. They're all flat now.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it when you make that face because it looks just like him. That's fantastic.
I didn't realize. I forgot we were coming back around the old AJ, the old Alex Jones.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about this
like
in
it.
our story. I enjoy their yogurt, Chobani, the little yogurt people. I enjoy them. I've seen them on 60
I
Minutes.
just read that story.
They had their little, they make a good product. So Greek yogurt giant Chobani, they filed a lawsuit Monday against the right-wing radio host and formerly mentioned on this show, Alex Jones, accusing the conspiracy theorists of publishing false information about the little yogurt company. Chobani says that Jones and his InfoWars website posted fabricated stories earlier this month that linked Chobani owner Hamdi Yulakaya and the company to a sexual assault case involving refugee children.
Oh.
The company filed a lawsuit. Now, if that sounds remotely familiar to you, similar story. If you remember, in the before the election, there was that story about, for one, it was Obama and Hillary smelled funny because they were possessed. And then we went right from that to the child trafficking thing with the pizza thing.
In the basement, that in the restaurant that didn't have a basement.
Right. All this stuff. So again, he loves to throw children in there for these stories. Well, they got refugee children now. The company filed the lawsuit in Idaho District Court in Twin Falls, where it operates the largest yogurt plant in the world. Now, according to the attorney, Jones is no stranger to spurious statements. He's claimed that the U.S. government orchestrated 9/11 attacks and the mass shooting in Sandy Hook Elementary. Chobani's attorney wrote, Mr. Jones has now taken aim at Chobani and the Twin Falls community. The complaint says InfoWars released a video on April 11th describing Chobani's practice of hiring refugees and a sexual assault case that had nothing to do with the yogurt company whatsoever. During the video, an InfoWars reporter republished statements that claimed the Chobani plant brought crime and tuberculosis to the company since it opened the plant 5 years ago, while also pointing out previous reports of its willingness to hire refugees. He's trying to blend two stories.
Tuberculosis, rapists, and children. All in the same story.
Yeah.
Unreal.
InfoWars did not immediately respond to requests for comment about this story.
I can't imagine.
Well, they were too busy in court trying to remember who these kids are.
Well, he had chili.
Yeah, he had chili.
I can't remember the yogurt this morning. I had chili for lunch.
I don't know.
I
chili,
love that. I love that.
Chobani.
And I was raped by a child
Maybe
refugee.
it was chili, not
during
Chobani.
dinner. Yeah.
Got tuberculosis from chili.
Well, that could have happened.
Inhaling all that spices.
Absolutely. It could have happened.
Don't know.
Could have happened.
Consumption.
Well,
I like to buy its earlier name. I really like all disease, like Constantinople and Istanbul. Don't change the name. Leave it consumption. It's fantastic. It says all you need. But if you're watching a movie in the 1800s and a lady coughs, oh, she's dead in an hour. She's got consumption. Like, you just no.
Okay.
I know where this plot's heading. No, English
we
bitch
don't
coughed.
need to keep watching. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, she's gonna die.
Oh, I never thought of it like that, but I can
Moulin Rouge, Finding Neverland.
that's
We
a
could
good
list
point.
1,000 of them. If a white lady coughs
That's a good
in
point.
England, she's gonna die in the hour of
It's
consumption.
really a fair point.
Okay.
It's a fair point.
Turns out France too. Moulin Rouge was set in France, but suspiciously,
So parts of the European Union, now European
A
Union.
cough equals
death. Death equates to.
yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay.
assuredly,
Assuredly.
Wow.
As
as night must
Well, they
follow
had
day.
Trog.
Trog.
They had those drafty castles.
well, if it weren't for those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, God bless him. But Donald Trump's son is a moron.
Which
Oh,
one?
Christ
Thank you.
Lord,
Thank
yeah.
you
Oh my
for
God.
that. Thank you for that.
Beavis or Butthead?
Or Little Beavis Butthead.
Oh no! What is it?
But-
Oh God!
Baron?
Now I always
Baron.
forget. No. Oh no! We can't pick on. Are we gonna pick on Baron?
By the way, I'm not going to. I'm just saying. There's
All right.
Oh, the younger of Beavis and Butthead,
Yeah.
which I
Eric, I think.
Eric, the blonde one.
He's a moron.
Yeah, Don Jr. is the dark-haired one.
He's a moron.
For what now?
Well, he was giving an interview to Ireland's independent newspaper.
Like you do. I've been called several times.
Well, absolutely. I've declined.
Me too.
I've declined. I was too busy drinking beer. But he actually complained about mean people on Twitter. Really?
Okay.
Yeah, really.
For fuck's sake. You're
Well,
a moron.
His stepmother is gonna take on internet bullying.
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
She sure is.
Put your husband's phone away?
Yep.
I love, and I think it's Bill Maher, but it might be not Oliver Stewart.
John Oliver.
That calls
say
them
Oliver
Uday and
Swift?
Kusei.
Little Stewart.
Oh my God. Whichever one of those two on HBO calls them Uday and Kusei just fucking kills me every single time.
It's well, actually, Rachel Maddow has said it a couple times, and I was like, "Oh my God!" But I think it's Oliver.
Yeah. Oh, just
Funny.
funny
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, he must not be too familiar about Dad's Twitter feed.
No.
If
All he knows
thinks
is
it's
fake
mean.
news.
Right. Well, he blasted people who are mean on Twitter. He said, no matter what side it is with, you're always going to get backlash. You're going to have a few people who have nothing better to do.
Like my dad.
Sit behind a computer and send a mean tweet. It's unfortunate, but it's the nature of the game, he says. Who the fuck's interviewing this guy? Like,
Yeah.
I think that they're far more ignorant.
I
than
just
him.
think, remember the lady that owned the Cincinnati Reds? What was her name?
Oh, Marge Schott.
All I said was Hitler had some good ideas.
Yeah. Should have gone into furnace
fantastic.
manufacturing.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's
Maybe.
probably, yeah.
Maybe. You know,
Or remind you of something else.
this Eric Trump moron was responding to a question that had to do with Rory McIlroy. I always want to say McAvoy, but it's not. It's Rory McIlroy. He's a golfer.
Oh, yes.
And he golfed with Trump. And he came under fire on social media because he played a round of golf. And he was like, I just played golf with the guy. You know, like it wasn't, I'm not supporting him necessarily. It just, so, you know, Eric's daddy, you know, orange guy, is known for using Twitter as a platform to hurl insults.
Sure.
The New York Times has a list of 325 people, places, and things that Trump has insulted on Twitter since he declared his candidacy.
Exactly. It's only 325?
A lot of repeat offenders.
Oh, okay, yeah,
that's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
Right, we're not going to.
But Rosie deserves it because no one likes her.
Apparently.
Sure.
He complained that politics is mean too. Eric did that. Poor little Eric. It's a mean game.
He's such
you
a
know,
snowflake.
it's such a mean game. God.
Trogs!
It's so mean.
Did you have to poop?
No, that's a face he made.
Would you like to?
Maybe. It's not a bad idea.
That's another one. Just a little
Just a
buzzsaw
little-
around the cranium and
Seriously.
just be like,
'Cause
anybody
he's an
home?
Idiot. He always
The doorbell
said,
didn't work, so I thought I should cut into your skull.
Just drill a hole and change the air.
something. Yeah, you know,
Put a new filter in
Yeah.
that.
he told the Independent, he said, I've always said that real estate is the most cutthroat industry in the world. But it's nothing compared to some of those.
Because it's the only industry I know.
Right. Because my daddy used to say that.
Yeah.
His father on the campaign trail incited violence against protesters, criticized the family of a fallen soldier, and suggested that the father of then rival Ted Cruz had a role in the assassination of JFK. Because that's not crazy.
Yeah.
Eric Trump isn't the only member of the first family to express a thin awareness of Donald Trump's persona on social media. Before the election, Melania Trump said that if she were the first lady, she would fight against that cyberbullying as her cause.
Yeah, what has she done so far?
Yeah.
Well,
just
she stayed clear of the
away.
weird. Yeah,
Well, she's-
steer clear of that fucker.
Yeah.
Because he leaves her places. Who knows? She might be
On
on her
a
way.
plane.
He wouldn't know. Yeah.
He'll leave her on a plane to walk off before her.
Oh no! The things where he doesn't like go
Yeah.
and wait for her to like leave the car. He's already up the stairs
Yeah.
and she's
Yeah.
still at the car.
Yeah.
She's like, "Well, fuck, I'm going home." He doesn't even know I'm here.
No, I would have gone, sure.
Can you imagine that fat thing laying on top of you? Oh. Trog! What's our safe word?
Get off me. Just get off me. That was that's all I do.
Yuck.
Not enough money in the world. Not enough money in the world. I was wrong. I was wrong.
Cheeto!
The hell do you have sex with Shelley Winters?
Anyway, the whole
She
thing
was
is
lovely in her
disgusting. Well,
In the time when people were fucking her, she was hot. Call me Shirley.
now, thank God that nepotism is a factor of life with that family. The first morons.
The first one.
Oh,
exactly what they are.
God.
Hashtag the first morons.
First morons.
That's
You
enjoyable.
heard it here first.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you though, because I did a lot of thinning of the books. I did a little book burning in honor of Trump. No,
Oh, good.
we thinned out the bookshelf
Catcher in the
to make
Rye,
room, and
the, you know,
exactly all the
yeah.
classics are
Oh,
gone.
oh.
But I
Huckleberry
did
Finn.
save "Call Me Shirley" because Shelley Winter's autobiography is still one of the best reads of my entire life, and the fact that no one has had the time to make a TV movie about "Call Me Shirley" still kills me.
Maybe they'll do that someday.
Funny beginning to end. She was a funny
going to
broad.
Oh, I
Funny
enjoyed
broad
I always liked her
Broad.
interviews.
who put on a little weight for some role.
Never got
Can't
on
remember what. No, never. It never took it off.
Oh, that's what happened to me in second grade.
Exactly. I put on this weight
Wow.
Yeah.
to play
I
Miss
was supposed
Piggy
to be like an Oompa Loompa, like in there.
for
and then
just
it
a week, but
and then
I,
it just
I know
stayed.
I never followed up. Just a week.
Were you supposed to be
bitch.
Violet?
Yeah.
The only one in...
Isn't that the
No,
one?
Oompa Loompas are really... Well, you
They're
are
the
short.
little orange guys. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
don't
don't see orange with you. I was thinking the only
I
girl in
just
that
a little
girl.
little portly thing, you know, picturing little portly things.
You're
running
turning
around.
Violet.
Yeah.
Would you please roll her
I
to
know,
the juicing room,
We
please?
work with a lovely, lovely doctor whose name is something like Oompa Loompa.
Oh,
So he is just insistent because he knows how it's going to go wrong if you try to pronounce his last name because it's got all the same letters as Oompa Loompa.
Like his name is Bob. Like that.
He's like, Suresh. Call me Suresh.
Oh,
And then
Call
you're
me
like,
Shirley.
But I would like to be respectful and call you Dr. Oh, yeah, Suresh. We're good. Because you just see it written down. You're like, I'm going to say that Oompa Loompa out loud. I'm just going to, like, I'm looking at this and I know.
Dr. O.
Yeah. It starts with a U. I'm like, I know.
Oh, you.
I know how this is coming out.
that's great.
Uruguay.
Oh, but it is funny when you're about to say someone's name and you're like, oh, I know why kids were mean to you in high school. Like, I could have some fun with this last name.
Yeah. Got it. The hell she? Oh, she's very busy. Got to go do something. Marnie, just listen to this story from in there.
Talk loud, Trog.
A South Dakota man was arrested outside a Sioux Falls house fire on Sunday, but the arrest had nothing to do with the blaze. Rather, police say the man tried to push past police and fire personnel in an attempt to re-enter the home and save his beer.
I like the way he's thinking.
The Argus Leader, which I assume is a newspaper, quotes police as saying the man was told to stay outside, but he persisted in his attempts to get in. No words on what kind of beer it was. He was charged with interference with a fire or law enforcement official,
Or
either one. The blaze was called in at 12:35 in the afternoon, was extinguished within 10 minutes, but caused 3 people to receive medical treatment. The incident led to an, I'm not sure what this means, an SMH-type tweet from Sioux Falls Police. SMH was an acronym, I'm not sure. The tweet featured SpongeBob SquarePants that reads, in part, "This incredibly poor judgment could have put many responders at risk. Hashtag not worthy of your life." Not worth your life, excuse me, not worth your life.
is it though?
Saving a beer, sir. Really? We can get more beer.
We can get
He
more
stood
beer.
outside the house that was on fire because he was saving his beer.
No, he tried
No,
to run back
he
in.
tried to run past the police and fire officials to get back in to get the
save
beer.
That's
Oh, you got to put the tweet up.
Well, I don't have a copy of the tweet. It's
It's
just
no fun without the tweet.
Oh, that's funny.
the tweet again. This incredibly poor judgment could have put many responders at risk. Hashtag not worth your life. And not worth the beer.
It could be.
What-
Well, especially if it's all hot.
You think you're working somewhere excited, and then you find out.
What's
oh,
an
it's Sioux
SMH
Falls.
type tweet? I gotta find out what that means. SMH type tweet.
While I am while I go to get my other story, I just wanted to let everybody know that there are no gays being killed in Chechnya.
There are no gays.
Because there are no gays.
Well,
And
apparently not.
Simple
allowed.
fix.
I mean, duh.
But now, did you hear that not Ted Cruz?
No.
We won't give him that credit. Mario Lopez. What's his name in Florida?
Oh, shake my head. I'm sorry. SMH, shake my head. Duh. I should have known that.
Rubio. Marco
Rubio. The
Marco
little
Rubio
general.
is speaking up for the gays in Chechnya.
Really? No, that's only because there aren't any.
Right. So he said, I can defend this tribe.
Exactly. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
I had not heard that.
That
Yes,
there
let
are no
me-
gays or
No,
Marco
that
Rubio?
that Rubio is somehow getting in the. Well, he may need a redecorator at some point. Maybe that's what he's
Maybe
trying
that's
to
what this is.
get. Who knows?
No, that could be what this
The
is.
little general, he just kills me.
Well, I've had to rethink things in the last year or so
Sure.
about my childhood, really. I've had to go back and think, would you look at that? My childhood was all a sham.
Oh, there you go.
Scott Baio.
Oh.
I mean, for real, I was in love with Scott Baio.
So now Marnie hates Chachi.
Fucking hate Chachi. What a dickbag.
Yeah.
Like, he just...
Oh, and in light of this week, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Especially, yeah.
He came out swinging the
He
dick bag.
sure did.
Yeah.
The fact that he's this monster Trump supporter is bad enough. Like, it's not just like, I support
And
the
remember,
guy. I voted for the guy. He's
Obama
like-
just is a Muslim.
He sure is.
Remember, that's what he.
Yeah.
They spent time at the convention for him to
That's right.
speak.
Oh, exactly. Yes. I mean, it's too much. He's just too much, and he's a moron, like Eric. But he had some harsh words because for those that have not yet heard or maybe don't even know what I'm talking about, but with Erin Moran, the gal who played Joni,
who once loved Chachi.
Yeah.
She was paid to love him.
She sure was. She passed away. And, if anyone had seen Joni, Erin Moran, as it were, in years since the show, she definitely, at times, looked a little road hard, put away wet.
Yeah.
Apparently did have some difficulty with drinking and drugs at some point. Henry Winkler had said, hopefully you'll now finally have the peace that you wanted so badly here on Earth. But they're thinking that she died of cancer.
Oh, they're not thinking that it
is a fact.
It is a fact.
Stage 4 cancer.
Stage 4 cancer of some kind.
Got it. I didn't know if they knew that for a fact.
And I don't know, again, haven't read up, and you may know much more about this than I, but my concern when they said that, I'm like, was she in such a dire strait financially or otherwise that she could not get treatment for that?
No, I think she didn't know.
Oh, okay.
From what they were saying, it was, and I can't remember where the cancer was, but it was a cancer that she was not aware she had.
Oh.
So brain or lung.
And obviously sudden.
Yeah.
Like it boomed.
Suddenly died, and she was involved with the loss. She was not long out of the spotlight.
Right.
I mean, had not acted for a while. There was some talk of the fact that her and her husband in Indiana were living in a trailer, but then they had that big.
She was the caregiver for his mom.
And she had just won that lawsuit with Marion Ross and others from Happy Days.
Oh, about residuals?
Suing for residuals and all the stuff that they sold, Happy Days related.
And they only got $65,000 out of it, apparently.
Yeah, so she had just been around and available for comments on that lawsuit.
Sure.
And from what they were saying, was not leading a horrible life, just didn't have a lot of, as we've learned, the money
Like
from
you
Hollywood
said,
does not stay as long as people think. They don't die rich. And so she was just living modestly and under the radar and died, and they found her, but they don't say who found her, if she was still with her husband. There was things, but the autopsy revealed that it was stage 4 cancer and probably just instant. And whether or not she even knew, no one knows.
Sure.
The good thing about a SAG card is that you get health care forever.
Oh, got it.
So the reason that when those people come out as anti-union, I'm always like, what the fuck?
Wow.
Right.
They have one of the best unions in the country, because that SAG shit stays with you if you pay your dues forever.
Okay, I did not realize that.
Yeah, the SAG-AFTRA union is one of the best ones for healthcare, and they have those places. They have the homes in Los Angeles and a couple of the places for the elderly to go and live their lives comfortably. Like, they take care of their own.
Right.
They were shitty to them for a while, but now they take care of their own, because they watched a lot of famous people die
alone,
needlessly
and alone, and so.
Yeah, the Scott Baio piece of this that is definitely just him just running his mouth again and just saying just crazy shit. That here you have these nice words from Ron Howard, who, even though it wasn't a real huge condolency kind of thing that he put out, a statement that he put out, it was, I'm going to remember this.
Right.
Yeah, an acknowledgement of your life and the fact that a long time ago we worked together and we had a pleasant relationship.
Right.
He left. He left the show.
Yep.
Yeah, before.
So he didn't stay for the whole run.
So did Chuck, but that was after that first.
But now Chuck and Joni are together.
Yes, they are.
One of my favorite lines from Buddy early this week.
Where's Chuck? Didn't we have another kid?
I thought
No?
somewhere.
At least we have the decency to keep an empty chair.
That's right. That's right.
When Chuck misses an episode.
We cover her, though.
Yeah.
That's a good call. Baio didn't mince any words in discussing his former Happy Days co-star and her death when he was on a radio show.
That I've never heard of.
Bernie and Sid. Yeah. He says, for me, you do drugs or drink, you're going to die. I'm sorry if that's cold, but God gave you a brain, gave you the will to live and thrive, and you got to take care of yourself. Just as, it's cold.
No.
You're an asshole.
In a
Just
year,
ignorant.
when Baio contracts cancer, I want to play that audio clip back to him.
Right. Yeah.
You had choices to make.
You had a lot of choices.
Like when Karma comes back and saws the top of his head off right here.
And you can look in.
And look inside and say, Trog!
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
I
a
mean,
death I'm going to celebrate.
Well, and he
Good times. Come
yeah,
on.
good times, right. He because there was no evidence that her death was a result of abusing drugs. But before he even knew that, perhaps realizing how his remarks sounded, he quickly tried to backtrack, noting that, while I'm not exactly aware of how she died,
Yeah.
but let me just vomit this.
Right.
Right.
Let me just say something truly shitty
Right.
about another human being that helped me have a career. Because he was an addition to that show.
Oh yeah, he was brought in later
He
when
was
ratings
brought
were
in
sagging.
later, yeah.
Yeah.
To offer a young element.
Sure.
And rode the coattails. And then there's a show called
Joni Loves Cha-Cha.
Charles in Charge.
Oh, Charles in Charge.
And I'm not
yes.
going to lie, watch it all the time.
I remember a few of those. I kind of enjoyed that, but I don't remember much
Charles
about
in
it.
charge of our days and our nights.
Never saw one episode, and I'm the better for it.
I want Charles in charge of me.
Yeah.
Because I loved
That
him.
sounds a little rapey.
Yeah, I loved him though. I didn't care.
Don't interrupt
And
me when I'm
Willie
talking
Ames.
about feminism.
And Willie Ames.
Oh, that's right.
Ames
Willie
was on
Ames is
there.
on that too. I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah,
that.
yeah. Wasn't he actually Charles?
He was a druggie too,
No, Charles was
according to Bayo.
Charles was Bayo. Because he was
Yeah,
like
Scott
a like
Baio
a.
was the-
I'm not a nanny, but he was for the
Kind of.
family. Like yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of what he was.
Willie Ames, alive or dead?
alive.
Alive and not like.
He
doesn't
was,
look like he did on 8 is Enough.
Oh, no, he's...
I don't think.
He looks like an attractive man
I
of a
think
certain
it's
age.
Nicholas, the one who played Nicholas, that was
God, what was his
I
name?
can
Rich.
see-
Adam
Adam
Rich.
Rich.
Adam Rich. Wow. God, I can't
Nicely
believe.
Willie
done.
Ames, still?
I can remember that. I can't remember.
I don't know who you are.
Other,
but
right.
Marlene. I'm Marlene.
No, he looks like an
Does he?
attractive man.
But he definitely, Adam
I
Rich
thought
definitely had
57.
trouble, and I thought that.
Did
that
Adam
he
Rich
as
really?
well.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll have to look him
But
up. Too.
just to stop, no one looks like they did when they were 20. There is
No,
no
I-
one out there
I-
that's not made of plastic.
I get that.
That's one of those comments that always pisses me off. Well, they don't look like they did when they were on TV 40 years ago.
Right,
Of course
right.
they don't. Who does?
Right.
Find me that person and I'll stop the public
Who's
shaming.
the one that said the quote of that Debbie? Oh no, it was the guy that from the
Oh,
from
Justin
the board.
Sayre?
Debbie Reynolds says she got 2 lifts. Use them wisely.
Yeah, exactly. You get two facelifts.
That's it.
Jane Fonda timed hers
Oh
beautifully.
my
She sure
gosh, yeah.
Because she grew into that second one. She had to lay low for a week or two, but then
You
And then
get
it
2
worked out
lifts.
well.
2
Use
lifts.
them wisely.
that is the
Yeah,
God's
but
honest
fuck Scott
truth.
Baio.
Yeah, I agree. It just keeps getting worse, and I think that it really
How old is he now?
53. I
Wait,
feel like.
What? Really?
It's 50-something, yeah, because there was a whole thing about
Scott Baio at 45 and
Yeah.
not married or.
Oh, you know who I love, though,
Something.
from that era?
Pinky Tuscadero.
James, I did love Pinky Tuscadero.
Okay.
No,
Heather
I like
Locklear?
leather. I like leather.
Yeah.
the
Tuscadero.
daughter.
Yeah.
I like mine a little. I like my men a little rougher. Yeah, Susie Quattro, stumbling
I loved
in.
her.
She was
Sure.
stumbling in.
Susie Quattro.
And she had the mullet from hell. Like,
Oh,
just
again, she may have
mullet.
introduced us to the
yeah,
mullet.
she may have. That's
Trog was what you saw when you
Yeah.
first saw her.
Good call.
Who did you
James
love?
at
Grant
15.
Goodeve from
Oh,
Is Enough.
yeah, I whacked a couple off to him.
Oh, he was
But-
the older son, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But James at 15, that kid, Lance Kerwin,
Lance Kerwin. Yep.
alive or dead?
Don't know anything about
I
this.
feel like he's alive.
It was James at 15 and then James at 16.
And
it was, they were
Scott
TV
Baio
movies.
and Kerwin were in
They were in something together.
drunk.
Drunk. That doesn't sound like something that.
No, it was like
The Boy Who Drank Too Much.
Boy Who Drank Too Much.
Yeah, Lance
After
Kerwin
school
was.
specials.
Oh yeah, remember? And then Eve Plum
Acid.
did. There's something.
yeah.
There's something wrong with Alice or something.
Yep.
Where Eve Plum was the drunk and she gets the maid fired because it's her that's. She's blaming the maid for drinking all the.
Were these
all the
after
liquor.
school specials?
Yes.
Oh, they were fantastic.
and there was Helen Hunt, The Angel Dusted. It was
Oh
called.
yeah.
That one was crazy.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
yeah,
was.
the
These
hell-
have got to be
he-
horribly acted series.
I
I
liked.
feel like I loved
liked the
them.
Eve
Like,
Plum
I
one.
Right,
would-
but we
yeah.
loved everything. We didn't know any
Good
better
call.
in
That's
'84
true.
whenever
As
they
I
were.
No, I
sat
was
in front of the
watching- no,
TV, reading the TV
TV
guide,
guide, the
like,
description.
and I would like cut little things. I don't want to talk about it.
You brought it up.
I know.
Were you
Hold on.
decoupaging shit and
Yeah, I
putting
would.
clippings of newspapers on stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, she did Dawn, Portrait of a Teenage Runaway. And then she did.
You're looking up Eve Plum.
Yeah, because it was
Guys,
really good.
in the chat room, I'm telling you right now, try to look up these shows because they would be on like YouTube or they'll be
I
on
have to
something.
I thought she did the drunk one too, but the one that's in here is Dawn, Portrait of a Teenage Runaway, 1976.
You're talking about E Plum?
Yeah, I thought she did the movie where she was a drunk and she drank the maid. They got the maid fired, and they like everyone didn't know who the drunk was in the family, and it was the teenage girl. Portrait of a Teenage
Alcoholic.
Alcoholic. Yes, that's what it's called. Oh my God, you're psychic.
I just was going by process of elimination of words you could call a drunk person.
Oh my God, that's fantastic. I have no idea.
There was Portrait of a Teenage Runaway, Prostitute, and Alcoholic.
Oh, they rang every bell.
It was Linda Blair that was.
Blair.
Oh,
She did all of them?
Shame.
She may
I
have.
should be putting a
She went
timeout
like this.
corner. No,
And then,
but
yeah,
no.
that
She
coulda
was
happened.
the teenage alcoholic that got the maid fired.
Oh, okay.
Eve Plum was the Portrait of a Teenage Runaway, and now
Okay.
we got to find out who was the prostitute because
Stand by.
Helen Hunt, I bet.
Oh, this might be good. We'll
I don't
find
know.
it.
I'm making that
Well,
up.
Helen Hunt played Bionic Woman's daughter. That's how I know her.
That's right.
Oh my gosh.
That's right. Jamie Summers.
She was Jamie
Oh, I was
Summers'
thinking
daughter.
of Lindsay Wagner.
Lindsay Wagner is
Yeah.
her name, but Jamie Summers.
Oh,
is-
Summers
got
was
it.
her
Got it.
character.
Look at me remembering old shit.
Remember?
My
She would
God.
take her hair.
That power
and go like
walk I
this.
did yesterday is
She
doing
would
good.
put her hair behind her ear.
And what would happen?
And then she would be able to
Bionically here?
listen. But if her hair was in front of her, she couldn't.
Well, sure.
All right, so there's no new Portrait of a Teenage Prostitute. Just might be something fun that's on the internet.
Or a porn.
But it's still under Cult Film Freak. That Dawn Portrait of a Teenage Runaway is still being watched to this day.
Oh my God.
41 years later, that movie is probably still at Comic-Con.
So
ABC After School Special episodes. They have all.
All of
shut up! October 14th of 72 through July 1st of 97. Shut up!
Oh my
This
God,
is
that
awesome.
long?
I checked
That
off that.
long?
I checked off the Love Boat a little bit before that. Trog was on.
Most episodes were dramatically presented situations, often controversial,
Oh yeah,
of interest to children and teenagers.
they were riveting,
good. Yeah.
riveting
So,
television.
I'm thinking that if we were to go
Aaron,
back to Portrait of a Teenage Alcoholic, I could
Was it
scan
a
through that and
niece?
probably find some
Maybe it was
priceless
a
lines.
niece.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
What
She was
hap-
a princess from,
From
space.
space.
I thought maybe a niece or something. I just kind of went with that on that. But
Well, that makes complete sense.
well, duh. I mean, you should have.
But I gotta tell you, and she won the Emmy for it. But
Princess?
the episode where Jamie Summers is dealing with Vietnamese girl that hasn't spoken since her trauma, and she goes through the whole PTSD thing and learns to speak again.
Chickabee, swinging in a
The
wind.
way Tay.
Not Nell. It's not
And
Nell.
Lindsay Wagner won the Emmy for it. That episode makes me cry like nothing else.
Oh.
And as soon as Sci-Fi Channel brought back the Bionic Woman, I wanted to see Doomsday is Tomorrow, the Sasquatch
Oh
episodes,
my God, you're making me laugh.
and the one
that's
where
fantastic.
the Vietnamese girl learns to speak again.
I just always wanted
and
to go
the
to
one with Helen
Ojai.
Hunt because oh my God.
I just always wanted to go to
Oh my
Ojai
God.
because of
But-
Jamie Summers.
I had a serious Bionic Woman problem.
On the other hand, the Bill Bixby, right? And
Hulk.
he
the
was
Hulk,
in everything.
when
No, the
when
courtship
the
of
wife
Eddie's-
the courtship of Eddie's father,
Father, yeah.
forget it. But when his wife dies, and that the I don't mean to give anything away.
Spoiler. It's
But,
a
yeah,
1970s
spoiler,
series.
Yeah.
We're
Just
probably
you don't know, 1978. People might not have seen it.
Hmm.
But his wife
They've
dies.
had 40 fucking years to see.
Oh my God.
Wait, who died?
That Bill, but so
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
oh my God, and he's Mariette Hartley. What?
I loved Mariette Hartley.
I did too.
And she was
Mariette
always so
Hartley
fun in
was
the,
the wife.
the Polaroid commercials
With James
yeah.
Garner.
Yeah, good call.
So she was also Marie Slaughter's daughter on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Helen Hunt.
It's my new
Oh.
favorite
So
thing.
there was no surprises about Helen because she was always good.
This is my new favorite thing Aaron has ever written in the chat room. A satellite inexplicably crashes down in a lake near Ojai. Jamie Summers is first on the scene and discovers a young girl named Aura, who claims to be from another planet.
She
Aura
would tear-
explains.
And how
she
many
is a
times did you try to
princess.
tear the phone book? Come on, you did it every day.
Oh my God, I
Every
totally
time you got
tried.
a phone book, you would always try to tear it because she did it in the
Yeah.
opening sequence.
Oh.
That's how
Oh,
she
totally.
That's how she scared her students.
And then you put the hair behind
And
the
she would hear
access
everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember sound
then-
effects because the $1 Million Man, $6 Million Man had the
Yeah.
same.
Not the same.
It's
Well, no, but
it
the
was
sound-
Trog, you're a Trog.
Sound effects were very similar. And then they would play them on the
Fucking
ABC.
Trog. I'm not even drinking when I'm
The
yelling
Circus
this word.
of the Stars. They would play the same sound effects.
Yeah, good call.
Battle of the Network
Yeah,
Stars.
Battle of the Network Stars.
Oh my god, I love that. Those shorts.
Oh my god.
That was crazy.
That's when
I
Bruce Jenner
don't-
was a man.
I love the Jews, but I don't ever need to see
Fair.
Gabe Kaplan in those shorts again.
You won't. And
that's
that's a
true.
bonus.
Yeah.
You
but,
won't
know.
now. That's
There
very
are worse things I could
You
do.
Oh my god, I am so excited about these
But
episodes.
not much worse than Gabe. When it came on Sci-Fi Channel,
Yeah.
that had to be 20 years ago that Sci-Fi Channel picked up the Bionic Woman.
Oh.
Glued to my TV.
Sure, I can believe that.
Glued.
I really
From the French, to glue oneself to one's
I want to be from the planet Zorla.
Oh.
That is my. I would like to go there and Ojai.
I know. Is Ohio a real
Zorla
place?
and Ojai. Ojai is a real place. Ojai, California.
Oh, we are so going to Ohio.
Yeah, I
next
think it'd be
time.
fun.
Fuck that. They've got to have a.
They have a winery.
Okay.
They have wineries.
Get out of my head! Trog!
That's the reason for him to go anywhere.
I was just going to say, if I can go to a winery and drink wine in Ojai, California, I'd be happy as Larry.
It'd be just a
Happy
delight.
as Larry.
Well, now keep in mind that there were
What the
some
fuck was
really,
the story that led us here? Oh, Joni loves Chachi.
Yeah, there was some.
Legitimate walk.
all-
That's a straight line.
all I keep,
Look at me. That's the song.
all I keep thinking is Helen Hunt has graduated so far. She
know.
directed the next to the last in the Feud series, the one where they were
yeah.
filming Sweet Charlotte. She
I just
directed
love her.
that episode.
See, not all child stars go wrong, but
The only thing that
But
he
that's a
would
little
give
girl
back,
that that's it. And could I tell you about that the Dylan Minnette that's on 13 Reasons Why, and then that Logan Lerman that was the little kid from
Yeah,
the Butterfly
yeah.
Effect,
Yep.
and then 310 to Yuma. When I try to watch a little kid, I'm like, this little kid's got talent.
That's
There's something
something.
else going on. I spotted that Helen Hunt, and we're about the same age.
Okay.
I spotted her, and I'm like, I'm gonna find if I see a credit that says Helen Hunt, I'm gonna show up.
Well, she was a delight.
She is. She's
Yeah.
still alive.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, as for a child
But
actor,
I think Joni can't fucking stand Chachi now.
at all. Also, there is an actress that looks just like Helen Hunt, like where you kind of went, whoa, Leah.
Leah.
I'm making shit up right now.
I don't know.
Sobieski. Leela.
Oh, yeah, she does. Yes, she does.
Oh.
like startlingly.
And Helen Hunt kind of looks like she played someone's daughter that you're like, that's uncanny. Somewhere in her career, she played someone's daughter that you're like, oh yeah, she does look like her. Kind of like, I mean, like you're kind of. I actually wondered when I saw the casting if it really was like Laura Dern and her mom,
Oh, sure,
Oh.
sure.
Diane Ladd. Like I actually thought,
Diane
is
Ladd.
that her mom?
Interesting.
But now we got to figure out where Helen Hunt
In
played someone's famous
October
daughter.
3rd of 1973, I just want to throw out there that it was Bruce Jenner's first role. An 11-year-old girl encounters opposition when she joins her brother's Little League baseball team, which happens to be all male. But they were tackling issues then.
Well, it was a
Maybe not
Crazy
Bruce
time.
Jenner.
Oh,
I don't know.
Kathleen Turner's daughter and Peggy Sue got married, but she wasn't old enough. That's what kind of kept me from thinking that. But I remember when I saw Peggy Sue got married, that Helen Hunt just kind of looked like they kind of looked alike.
Kathleen
okay.
Turner?
Right, but because of the time change, they're closer in age than you think. They're
I think the difficult part is that Kathleen Turner, to me, is Chandler's dad.
every Kathleen Turner joke lands. It doesn't matter how you start it. A Kathleen Turner joke will always land. I saw her on Broadway
Yeah.
in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, and I'm
Like
like,
Chandler's,
how is
I'm gonna pause you for
Kathleen
a second.
Turner gonna play Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? And then she walked on stage. I'm like, oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Boozy, overweight broad that's just screaming at everybody and smoking a cigarette.
I can imagine. I haven't even seen it.
Landed. Who are you gonna have play Chandler's transsexual dad? Kathleen Turner? Lands right on the money. And what's her name? The best drag name ever. Helena Handbasket. Fantastic.
Was this part of the Friends series?
Oh my God! Yeah, it was
Completely missed
That's
that.
who, as
It
far as
was
walking her down the aisle, him down
five years of
Yeah.
jokes that finally, again, whenever you watch these shows for millions of years and they finally have a joke pay off, that Chandler's father, Chandler, I call her,
Yeah.
because it works for a boy or a
It
girl.
does. Yeah, either way.
Chandler's father's name was It was Viva Las Vegas was the name of the drag show. And
That's right.
and her name was Helena Handbasket.
Oh,
and then when they finally introduced the
funny.
character, it's Kathleen Turner walks out, and you're
Yeah.
like, that landed spot
It's
on.
Perfect.
I have never paid
There's
attention. I have
not
to
a
look back.
second of doubt that it wouldn't be Kathleen Turner. Like, of course it is. They look
I,
alike.
I have no idea.
And the fact that it was married to, what's her name? Morgan
Morgan
Fairchild.
Fairchild.
That his parents were
Yeah.
Morgan Fairchild and Kathleen Turner. It
And you know
just
that
made you
voice
glad you
would
had
come out.
cable,
Oh
a
my
TV,
God,
and a
yeah.
Thursday night
I
off.
lost
Yeah.
interest in Friends a long time ago.
Oh, you should have stuck around because it stayed good.
Oh?
Find that on
The-
TBS.
yeah. Oh my
for
God.
real.
There's only
Or whatever
there's
it
only
is.
like 3 bad
What,
episodes
11
in the whole
years?
show. No,
How many?
10.
Well,
10.
10 years, and there's only one kind of half a season that's a little shaky, but
But
the minute
funny.
that they start fucking, well, actually, the minute Ross meets Emily,
Yeah.
it goes right back on
Yeah.
track and stays there for the rest
is
of the
Emily
run.
the Asian girl?
No.
No,
the
Emily's the British girl and her parents is absolutely fabulous. Her mom is
Oh.
the mom
Not
is
Patsy.
Joanne
Is
Lumley?
it Patsy?
no, it's Adina.
Oh,
Her mom
that's
is
right.
Adina, and like all
Jennifer
these,
Saunders.
Jennifer Saunders is her mom, and Jennifer Saunders and Phoebe on the phone is absolutely hysterical.
No idea that this exists. I have at all.
So clearly you didn't watch very long because that show. I mean, seriously, there was one
Yeah.
little part where it
Well, I
got
forgot a lot because it didn't really interest me. I'm like, it was kind of funny, but who cares? It's kind of like Drag Race. I watch that just for the jabby lines, but I don't give a fuck about any of the rest of the show.
That show cracks me
That show was my
up.
life. I mean,
Yeah.
that was my life. That was me in my 20s. Like they were the right age, same age as me. Trying to
that's
stitch
fantastic.
together $16 and try to make a meal out of it, and like
I lived very different lives from you people.
I lived mine on TV. You lived in a radio. I mean, I
I-
can see your
Yeah.
I can see your confusion.
We didn't have we didn't have the
I did. I
visuals.
grew up in a TV.
Trog, I need a break.
Every time I get ready to
Where's my
cut to
union
you,
break?
well, go ahead,
30
sag.
minutes break.
No, we're not doing that. We're just going to talk about something else.
Trog.
For crying out loud!
I'm telling you, I'm so excited about these after-school specials. Alexander, the story of a retired clown and his undying love for children, because that's not creepy.
Oh, I just learned. Speaking of clowns, oh my god, I have other things to talk about.
Oh, I like it. Go ahead.
Speaking of clowns, I found out that there's a secret movie
Uh-huh.
that Jerry Lewis made
Mm-hmm,
called "The Day the Clown." I'm not doing that for you. I'm going for something else. The day the day the
you were
clown
taking a picture of it.
cried.
Yeah.
He made a movie that was never released. Apparently, it's about a clown in a concentration camp.
Oh.
Very dark movie. I just learned about that, and I learned about that because I was channel surfing last night. Wow, you talk about going in a completely different direction.
Yeah.
Channel surfing last night, and on PBS they were showing a documentary. I think it's called an Independent Lens. I think was the production company that did it. They were interviewing comedians,
Right.
Jewish comedians, about the fine line between the comedy of making fun of Hitler and Holocaust,
Okay.
and where those lines were.
Sure.
It was very interesting because obviously Mel Brooks has done a lot with regards to Hitler. Don't be shy. Come on, join the Nazi party.
Yeah.
All the stuff that he did, and then
Springtime
for
for
Hitler,
and
right? The
Germany.
producers. There's
It's
so many.
winter for Poland and France.
But they were interviewing. It was interesting because they had the comedians and they actually had real live Holocaust survivors who were still alive, and they were showing them bits on like YouTube, and they were saying, "Okay, is this funny to you? Like, is there comedy at all in this? Whatever." Sarah Silverman, Jeff. What's the guy? Jeff.
Ross.
Jeff Ross was in it.
Who I tend to not find funny.
There
at
were a
all.
whole bunch of different people, but it was really interesting because listening to the stories as they go along, and then one of the jokes that Joan Rivers made, one of her last appearances on the Tonight Show, she got completely chastised for because she was talking about she was late to get to the show, and the joke she threw out there was that the limo they had sent was a Mercedes. And she says, "For God's sakes, they can build another, but they can't fix a carburetor." And Fallon was like, "Oh," but that was the joke that she made.
Sure.
But it was an interesting documentary about how the perception of
interesting.
different things and where those lines are.
Sure.
And Sarah Silverman was a good one that they were talking
And
about.
what a tragedy plus time equals comedy.
Yeah.
Isn't that the equation?
Yeah.
And you really have to ask yourself, first, can you get away with it? Are you on the short list of people that can make that joke? And then second, can you sell the joke?
Yeah,
and
because
9 times out of 10, Mel Brooks could.
Sure.
And
Carl Reiner.
Uh-huh.
They were there when he interviewed.
I can see that.
And Joan Rivers almost always landed, and she had
and
her
Letterman.
share.
And Letterman with, like, if you think about 9/11,
Yeah.
it was like, we have to laugh. Like,
Yes.
it just has to be done. Like, we can't not. And
Yeah, and
One of the things they talked about in regards to tragedy and when it's time to laugh about it, one of the things, and you'll probably agree with this because you're such an SNL fan, was after 9/11 when SNL came back and they were all on stage and Giuliani's there before he went crazy, and Lorne Michaels walks out and they applauded. They had, I guess, some of the first responders behind them on stage, and Lorne looks at Giuliani and goes, "Can we be funny again?" And Giuliani pauses perfectly and goes,
We're gonna start.
"You're
now.
gonna start now?" Like, right. And then boom, that broke the ice and everything went on.
Right.
But anyway, it was a great thing. You just wow, we got from Joni Loves Chachi through all this and got back to Holocaust.
It's just
Enjoy
pop
it, though.
culture.
Holy cow! I'm gonna ditch my last headline story, save it for next week, and we're gonna move on to Alfie because we have a lot to cover.
We've got a lot of two things here, so we can fit in the cat person. So we have a couple shows ending, some good, some bad. I have two things about Feud. We have the end of, and the cat's not here to help me out, but we have a podcast that I got to the end to. We have our question, and we have the start of I'm hoping, a terrific miniseries, but we'll find out in a second.
Okay.
So we'll start with Feud because it's what we're all thinking about. So I have two things and two things. First, we'll go with good and bad, and both things have two things. Two things.
God.
The good was I thought it was very good in the finale. If you haven't watched it yet, spoiler alert, they're both dead.
Most everybody in that show is dead.
Not all his short stories, Aaron. He's got hundreds of them. You can't make that generalization. But so the two things that were good about the Feud finale was Betty Davis picking up the phone and talking to the reporter and seriously thinking about what was she going to say to the reporter. And you could see the little play on her face, which you hoped that Betty really had in real life when she said, "My mother always said never to speak ill of the dead, so all I'll say is Joan Crawford is dead." Good. And you can kind of see the play on her face of,
Do I say
that's
it?
all they're calling me about is to talk trash about her. They probably won't even print it if I say something nice, so
Sure.
maybe say something. And because this last episode was so completely fiction, after a show that they were trying to do shot-for-shot stories and copy the dresses, copy this, copy that they just went into all fiction really kind of fucking annoyed me. Well, the other good thing about it was when they were having a made-up conversation between Victor Buono and Betty Davis, and she was bitching about Faye Dunaway.
Okay.
And she said, and this was a Betty Davis quote. I don't know who she said it to, but she said it more than once, that the one thing she would always say about Joan Crawford was she was a professional and she was the first one on the set and the last one to leave, and she knew her lines. Like, you were working with a
Professional.
and
She was no Faye Dunaway.
no, and the part about her hating Faye Dunaway was really fucking true.
Wild.
And
God, that's wild.
Yeah, and just the irony of it all. But it really was. I really thought it was smart that they got in the couple times that Joan Crawford and that Betty Davis was very, very succinct about her feelings of like professional. Say what you want. That broad worked and she worked hard. And we, when we waited for her, we were fucking with her. Like the reason that things went wrong in our last movie was we were not doing our part. She prepared for her role. She did her shit. The thing that really bothered me, and it kind of ruined the whole episode for me, was that the character, and I'm going to call her Barbara because I don't remember what her name was, but she was Bob Aldridge's assistant. Made up character. It's a composite of different people. So there was absolutely no reason to go with the one fictional character of the whole show and have her tell that airport story. Like, that was so bogus for a woman who has known her entire life for being very gracious in public, always put together, and always polite. Like, you don't have to go to a fictional character.
Sure.
You can go to any real person, a makeup person, a lighting person. Don't go to the one character we know is fake to tell the story of her being gracious in public. When the line I've been saying my entire life is how kind people are, because whenever somebody was rude to Joan Crawford or ever said anything shitty, she would always say, how kind people are. Like, that was her answer to anything someone said. There's no reason to go to a fictional character to find a gracious moment in Joan Crawford's life. I thought that was a little bit of a slap to her memory. That you had to go to a fake character for a reminiscence of her being gracious in public. I know it's nitpicky, but I was like, any one of those people could have told a story of seeing her in the airport and her being gracious. Because in public, she was gracious. I thought that was just crappy. It wasn't crappy, it was lazy storytelling. Pick anyone. Pick the light guy. Pick Victor Buono. They were friends. She was better friends with him than Betty Davis was because she liked the gays more.
But for as specific as things were, you'd think that there had to have been a reason for that.
I know it was just.
I mean,
to me,
try to figure that out.
To me, it was just
like,
being lazy in a way to get that person that doesn't like the whole thing about selling that script from a fake person. A real person somewhere in Hollywood had to have tried to present some female in Hollywood at some point. Had to present Joan Crawford with a female written
and
script.
forgive me, I don't know enough about the backstory to know. I did not know that was not a real person.
Oh yeah, that's the only fake person in the whole cast.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and so like anytime they would go to that, I'm like, why are you going with a fake person? Like this is Hollywood legend, and all of these people are real. Why go with the composite character? She should have 2 lines. One of them being I'm a composite character, and the second one being like, and now I'm leaving. Like there's no reason for there's just no reason for her in that whole show. And that little cameo when you have Olivia de Havilland, she could have said that would have been more appropriate. I was standing with Betty Davis backstage, kind of shitty to Joan Crawford that night. Saw her in the airport and she was gracious. Like it was just to me that's lazy storytelling. Like follow your own rules. Don't shot for shot something and then give me the one fake character to give you a line. I didn't like that. And the hallucinations was just over the top. I like it, but you're trying to be a straight biography show. But in their credit, all along, I didn't think Susan Sarandon till the episode after I said she wasn't really doing a Betty Davis impression. Then she started doing the Betty Davis impression like that week. But I just thought the hallucination was a little over the top. Like finish it with like, how did they die? I get the dramatics of it. I honestly get it, but I'm like sitting around a coffee table playing cards with a dead Hedda Hopper.
Sure.
Really? Like that's what you got? Kill it an hour before.
Be done.
Like now you're just making shit up. Like lovely fantasy movie, but we went from like shot for shot Oscars to stuff Ryan Murphy made up. I was like, I'm not buying it. But well acted, well done. You really like all the stuff about the teeth was real, that she had all her back teeth removed. I was wondering if they would ever bring that up, and they did. The liver cancer, why she was spitting. The church of this, it's not Scientology. She joined that other church. Did all that weird shit. The fact that she was very close to her grandchildren. There was a lot of real stuff in there.
Mamacita never came back.
Mamacita never came back, but she also left in the 70s, not in the 60s. They have her leaving 10 years too early. So she was with her in New York. She only left like the year before she died. Like that. So that's what I mean. Like we're fudging weird shit. And then she didn't live in Brentwood at the time of the first couple episodes. She had long since moved to Brentwood. And the thing that they had in Mommy Dearest that they left out was the fact that she went on Search for Tomorrow, I think it was, that she went on the air and subs for Christina. Show that instead of that. Show her trying to play a 20-something on TV. That's fucking funny. And the other thing I really liked, because it was a true story, was when she saw the picture of her and Rosalind Russell. I think it's Rosalind Russell, who was going through cancer treatment at the time, and saw the picture and said, "I'm done."
Right. If that's what I look like, I'm
done.
I
mean, it just either do a true story with everything that's really true and stuff we know, or make up your own fantasy of what you want it to be. And I was waiting for Ryan Murphy to turn into Ryan Murphy and like lose the editor and just start doing crazy shit. And he waited for the last episode. And like I was liking it, and then I was like, a fantasy episode, really? Like cards with Betty and Jack Warner. Like you can't pick anybody better. Why not Billy Haynes or like her friends? Like where's Billy Haynes in this whole thing? Her best friend, the gay guy, the designer that stayed with her through thick and thin, and all the kids. There was just better choices. Anyways, unless they couldn't get his rights, that could be. but very good. And I liked Betty's end much better. It stayed closer to the facts and the hair, and I loved her reaction to the painting, which went along with Veep's reaction to the painting. Ryan Murphy, just get out of your own fucking way. But I like him because I watch all his shows.
Yeah.
So, but I love the part where she talks about her being professional, because Betty Davis did give that up somewhere, and I think you can find it on Carson or something, where someone asks her about Joan Crawford, and maybe it might be her with Joan Rivers, where she says she was a professional. She showed up, she worked, she left, with all the shit that there is somewhere I've seen that clip. And then another show that, that's not really art. Sleepy Hollow ended. Seriously, call me if you need to cancel a show. I would have fired all those people. That show, 2 good seasons, 2 strange seasons, and they really wore out their welcome. Like, I'm sure Time Maison or whatever that hottie's name is going to get a job, but it should not be Sleepy Hollow season 5. They pissed me off. That was bad. Oh my god, that was Trog bad.
Yeah. Trog
bad. Bates Motel ended last night. If you have not seen it, so good.
It looked good, and I haven't gotten into that, but it looked
so
really
good.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So you can find all 25 seasons of Jesus. That's scary.
Really
so, what were your thoughts on Feud? Because I know you liked it more than I did. The finale.
Well, yeah, but again, I am not someone who follows old Hollywood, who knows all the intricate stories and knows all the ins and outs. I don't know any of that, so I'm going into it assuming that these are variations on some. Now, granted, I followed back. I watched the shot-for-shot comparison of Jessica Lange doing the acceptance speech at the Oscars. Nailed every fucking bit of it. Everything they did on set, from what I could see, everything
good.
All boom, 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 was all right there. Now, again, didn't know that there was a composite character who was Bob Aldridge's secretary. I had no idea that was a fake person.
Because she was so fascinating that when they introduced that character, I'm like, I want to know more about her. Did this movie get produced?
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Was she a writer-director?
The red slipper, what was it called? The red pump or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
But
it was intriguing enough that I was like, I need to know more about this woman. And did she write and direct her first feature?
So again, I assumed that this was all factual. I did not know she was a fake character. The other thing that I had no idea that BD played the daughter of the neighbor.
I didn't know that either.
In the movie, and then I had to go back in the movie and look at the credits. I'm like, sure as shit, there she is. I had no idea that was her. No fucking clue at all. And again, I don't know the final scene where Betty is sitting in the restaurant and BD comes to meet with her to tell her that she will never have her grandchildren alone again.
Yeah.
And I don't know, was that factual?
Yes, they never spoke again.
And I'm wondering if, again, it may be in a book, and I don't know if he pulled some of that information from BD's book and maybe some of it from Betty's book. I don't know how accurate that was. So I enjoyed the whole finale from the standpoint of it was a wrap up of everything. Now, the hallucination thing, if Joan was literally that sick, there's a complete chance that she could have hallucinated something. Now,
but
where that came from, if that's completely Ryan Murphy's making up shit or whatever, I have no idea. But in that crazy fucking that group on Facebook, the Joan Crawford Exchange, those people are militant, crazy people.
Oh, they're nuts.
So, because I was reading through a few things, that's where I learned that Mamacita never came back. Once she left, she never came back. I didn't know the timeline.
Yeah.
So there are other things that were within it, and the whole thing about the independent film where she was flown to London or wherever the hell it was to do Trog. I mean, it showed her going through a lot that was a huge step down for a woman of her stature to do this thing. And the agent had advised her not to do it.
And how young she was when they wrote her off. Kind of like when we think of the Golden Girls, we think, oh my God, they were all in their 80s when they did that show. Rue McClanahan was 53 and had been written off as an elderly comic. So, and they're playing it much too old. Like, when they were doing the Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, they were both, 51 and 52. They were not in their 70s or
which is
late
what it
60s.
Looks like, right?
No, which is what Jessica Lange and Susan Sarandon are. one is 70, one is 68 or 69, 67. Like,
Right, but their characters in the movie are supposed to be older sisters.
Right. But to be played by 70-year-olds makes you
Is
think,
one thing.
like, wow, well, how much longer do they think their careers were going to go on? Well, no, they're
52.
30 years
Right.
younger than Jane Fonda, who's got a sitcom right now. Like, there's a little bit of manipulation there of, like, casting really older actresses playing modestly old actresses. You know what I mean? Like, it's like having what's-her-face Rose from the Titanic play Rue McClanahan on the Golden Girls.
Sure.
Like, you're off by about 40 years there, buddy. Like, it's a little odd.
So overall, I enjoyed it. It was touching. I mean, it literally, because I usually don't handle endings well, and that was an ending. I mean,
Yeah.
it ended. And then the credits at the end where you get to hear you see the stories of what people happen.
And BD's book came out before Betty Davis died. And when Betty
Yes.
Davis heard about Mommy Dearest, the book, she said, well, she's adopted, and you never know what you're going to get
Right.
with that. And so when BD wrote her book that was awful, that's when Betty Davis wrote her own book called This or That. She countered it, and she wrote her own book, whereas that might be where the nicer quotes about... There's a couple nicer quotes about Joan Crawford in that one. Like, one mostly that she was
Would that
professional.
have been with Barbara Walters?
Yes.
Well, there was
yes,
an interview,
yes,
but she
It
was also
with-
on Donahue, and
Yeah.
that's where I got. Well, actually, I watched both of
and
them.
I've watched all those, and in one of them, they want her to dish about Joan Crawford,
Right,
and
and
she
she-
just simply says she was pretty much. She was a working actress.
Right.
But they were alive. Joan Crawford never read the galleys for Mommy Dearest. She heard about it, but Betty Davis got to read her Mommy Dearest.
Right.
And she went right to her publisher and was like, I'm writing a book too. And I think her follow-up is called This or That.
It is called This or That. I thought,
But she wrote two, so there's a second one too. So This or That might be the one before she gets shit on, and then she might have one called Fuck You BD. Like
No.
there's
I don't think it's.
but there's a
called that.
book the next year, and it's right before she
But
dies.
I thought that she was already in the process of her book, and she waited. Again, the interview I saw, I thought that she had already pretty much written the book, and then she got BD's book, and then she wrote that final chapter.
Listen, there's two books.
Well-
There's two. There's This or That, and then there's another one, but I don't know which order
It's
they
which,
go
which
in.
I don't off the top of my head either, but it's the one where she
But I
wrote
feel like the one
the
has
closing.
bitchier
That
title.
closing of that one book where she about the fact of it's funny how using my name is helping to sell your book.
Yeah.
That I love that quote where it's a big fuck you.
And she
during the end of it.
never saw the kids again. And they both stopped drinking. She didn't stop smoking, but they both, at almost the same time, their lives were so close that they both did stop drinking about the same time. And
Her
one
and
was-
Betty, or I mean her and Joan, or
yeah,
her and BD.
no, Betty and Joan
Joan,
really
okay.
did stop drinking about the same time. One was for health reasons. One was because of the daughter was a cunt.
And I would love to know if that phone call. Do we know if that ever was legitimate?
I don't think that was real.
Where she called Joan and Joan was like, "Hello, is anybody there?"
But then you get into that, what's his name? J. Randy Taraborelli, that author that wrote, like, Call Her Miss Ross and My Name is Barbara. He writes all those trashy biographies where all of a sudden he knows what two people say in an elevator. Like, you can't write a biography that's supposed to be the true story of these people's lives, and then you have a conversation between two people in an elevator that are now dead. Nope, can't. But you can't. That's
Unless
just
you've
bad
got
writing.
If you've got a handwritten manuscript by somebody that said, "Oh, here was the conversation,"
And one of the
so-and-so
two
had-
signed off and
Right.
said this really happened, then no, we're gonna
So
call bullshit.
again, I was curious to know if that was some of those things were
and I
legit.
did throw some popcorn at my TV a couple times and be like, "This is J. Randy Taraborelli, bullshit." But
Well, I'm disheartened.
All
I'm
of-
disheartened to find out that some of the things were not real. I did realize that
but
there
all
was.
in all, but a well done 7 hours of two interesting characters. Like, and that's what you had to keep doing, is being like, we don't know if some of this happened, but this is two fabulous women in meaty roles playing two fabulous women. How are we gonna go wrong?
Right. I mean, and that very end when they're wrapping the interviews at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, and the girl turns around and says, "Well, I want to know what it was like on that first day." And they go back, and it was just as charming as ever when
Right,
they
because
do that.
in public, Joan Crawford was how kind people are. She was very gracious.
But also remember, that was the first thing before we get to the part where
Right.
Warner is like, keep them at each other's throats,
Right.
where they stirred up all
But
that.
they wouldn't have done much, and they wouldn't have done much in front of a large group of people. They would have kept that a little bit more discreet, because Joan was a classy lady. She would have told you "fuck you," but she would have waited till no one was listening. You know what I mean? Where I think Betty might have done the other way. X-Files is coming back for 10 more episodes in the 17-18, so sometime in the next TV season. Let me get rid of that. Madonna, there's a movie coming out by Universal called Blonde Ambition that is going to be the life story of Madonna. She's still alive. And Madonna stayed silent. It made last year's, I think it's called The Blacklist. And if somebody knows what that's really called, but I think it's called The Blacklist. And every year they do the top 10 screenplays that are floating around Hollywood that no one's made yet. And last year, this was the #1 movie that everyone was like, why is this movie not being made? And Madonna stayed silent until yesterday or today and was like, it's my fucking story. If there's going to be a Madonna movie, I'm going to be part of it.
Okay.
But it's hard to say how that goes. Bates Motel ended. Very good. Interesting if you're on one of those binge things. I can't remember where Bates Hotel landed. I think it's on Hulu.
Okay.
I don't think it's on Netflix. Very well done. A ballsy move from the get-go to take on one of the most iconic
That's what you
movies,
said,
directors of all time, and give it a little fun, give it a little twist. Darkest of all possible humor. One of my problems with that show was all the violence about pot, and then they addressed it because there was a little flash forward of 2 years, and the one character wants to buy a gun from one of his drug running buddies, and the guy's like, here's the gun. And he's like, do you want money for it? And he's like, no, we don't need guns for marijuana anymore. He's like, I'm a grower now. He's like, I'm legal. He's like, we grow it. I'm working with the best grower in town. We have extra guns everywhere because we don't need guns. So it was kind of funny, but the take on how they ended it was really nicely done. Nice little bit of family thing, the way they fit in the movie Psycho briefly into it, beside, to get Marion Crane in there. Really nicely done. So it's fun. If you get a chance to binge watch Bates Motel, pays up. Again, there's a couple seasons that you're like, okay, really?
Okay.
But, like all shows,
Yeah.
they can't all be classics.
Right.
Veep, though, is back and punching hard on all cylinders.
Yeah.
Crazy,
Yeah, I'm excited,
fucking
but I
nuts,
haven't watched it
where
yet.
you have to pause it and be like, I just need to absorb
Did
that.
that happen?
I'm going to
Right.
get back with you in a minute. Can't take it.
Okay.
Fargo started. I'm a little concerned with Ewan McGregor's accent.
Okay.
It's a little too much.
Okay.
Like we're almost at Elmer Fudd imitating Bruce Springsteen imitating, you know what I mean? What's that thing?
Right.
Flower. Robin Williams imitating Elmer Fudd imitating Bruce Springsteen. Like it's a little through.
I'm driving in my car.
Exactly.
I turn on the radio.
So you get the reference.
Yeah, oh, I remember
And
that.
the accent is just a little. It's too just dial it back. You're at an 11. Let's stop at 7 with the Minnesota accent.
Sure.
They're kind of aware of what they sound like. There might be some urge to not go that far.
Right.
But the setup is just as crazy as ever.
Okay.
Crazy, stupid crime happens in a small town, and it all has to go fucking wrong. And just the way that they set that up, almost like a Roadrunner. So I guess since they did use a Roadrunner cartoon way to kill somebody, I guess you could go with an Elmer Fudd imitates Bruce Springsteen. Sure.
Why
But it
not?
looks like fun, and it's on FX, and my TV's already liking FX, so we'll go. S-Town. Please tell me you and Aaron listen to that.
Aaron does. I started with it. She not started. She had me listen just because she's like, it's making me crazy. You don't listen to this, and I need to share it because she started like the day it came out and was just
You're
all
making me
about
crazy
it.
because I need to share it.
Yeah.
Anyone that's listened to S-Town, please. And, what was that about?
I don't know.
What?
We'd have to ask Aaron. I'm not sure.
7 episodes.
Or Anand listen.
And they're how
right?
long each?
About an hour,
Okay.
little under. The last one is maybe an hour and 2 or 3 minutes. Fascinating? I don't know. The first 2 episodes.
You thought you were being punked. You said.
Because again, it's like Fargo.
Yeah.
I felt like I was listening to Robin Williams imitate Elmer Fudd, imitate
me,
Bruce
I
Springsteen.
agree.
I did not understand those first 2 episodes. I'm like, this guy is insane.
Yeah.
Who would? who would listen to that first message and be like, sure, let's go to Alabama? No, I'd be like, do we have all the lawyers in the building?
Sure.
Are we all armed?
Are we all armed?
And then to meet the cast of characters, and you're like, is this an expose on the South? Is it an expose on unbanking? You know, the people that live completely off the grid and don't bank? Is it an expose about closeted homosexuality in the South? Is it about rivalry between your real family and the family you adopt? Is it something about piercing and tattoos? Is it about cutting?
Wow. Okay.
Every episode I'm like, what? Every episode had me at least one time roll over in bed and be like, did I change channels? Trog! Every single episode, and there's 7.
Okay.
I seriously at one point went like, I must have switched channels.
Okay.
This cannot be the same show. And I would start all over to be like, where
Does it cut?
Where is the train tracks? And when did the show end up over here? And the one episode, I've listened to it 4 times, I can't find it. He's having a normal conversation with them, and then and then there's one episode about Brokeback Mountain. Just about Brokeback Mountain. And one guy's feelings about Brokeback Mountain. The Grief Guide, and Aunt Help Me. The grief he calls it like the Grief Guide. What? Over and over. I was like scrambling eggs in my kitchen this morning.
I feel like if Amina were listening right now, that cat
Hannibal the
Hannibal just went flying.
I cannot tell you how many. What? What? And then it ended, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, but I have to give it to them on Serial. That once again, I kind of identified with the batshit crazy person at the center of the story. I don't know if I'm a teenage Muslim murderer or someone who went AWOL during...
Sure, Bo Bergdahl.
Yeah,
right?
or...
Bo Bergdahl.
because I love Brokeback Mountain and maybe had a mercury thermometer in my mouth at some point, I identify with this crazy fucker. I just don't know. And then finally today... Whilst I was scrambling the eggs, I'm like, you know what? I need pictures of all these people. Somewhere on the internet, there has to be pictures. Well, of course, like a week ago, someone else was scrambling eggs and had that same thought. And so you get to see John B.
I'm so with you, Aaron. God, that's funny.
I don't know if I can recommend it or tell you to steer clear of it. What? I don't know. But I went and looked at pictures because... they describe this guy as like red hair, no freckles, but tatted up. But he hates tats and piercing and cutting, and like he has a maze in his backyard, like The Shining, and like all this crazy shit is all the same show. Exactly, Meow Cow.
Oh, that's funny.
So I was really hoping because Kat finished it day before yesterday, and I would have finished it yesterday, but the one episode. I just had to keep listening to it because I'm like,
keep rewinding. Like, what the
how?
hell?
At what point do we switch shows and now we're watching Psycho? You know what I mean? Like, but I have to give it to them. In the tiki room, you just have to. It's 7 hours. You've wasted time on worse shit than that. I mean, you listen to this, so come on, your standards are not very high. But you just have to find your way. Because we're on one track. The show is about, allegedly, the show is about this guy that writes into Fresh Air and Ira Glass and Associates et al. About a murder that took place in Alabama in Shittown. Okay. And the guy that committed the murder brags about the murder. Okay. And he's going around telling people. So the person that writes the letter to Fresh Air says, this town is so shitty that this rich guy can murder somebody in front of people and can go around talking about it and it'll never get reported on. So this guy goes down to Alabama to meet Looney Tunes the first and have these conversations with him in a way to get to find out.
Is this one of your idiots?
That's John B. That's him.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's scary. Just to
what
look at that.
in God's name
That's
is
John
hanging
B.
off of him?
His nipples, because of the cuttings. They call it going to church. And then it turns into a religious show at the end.
Oh, my God.
But show the maze, because the maze
you
really
say
is cool.
a
Just put in
religious show?
S-Town Maze in photos, and you'll get it.
The fuck?
Well, he writes This American Life, Fresh Air, because Ira...
I do like that show.
Yeah, no, but Fresh
Oh,
Air
there's
is...
a lot of pictures of the maze. Now, which
This,
one do you want me
This
to
American
show?
Life is one episode in Fresh Air. So he wrote into both, because somehow they're connected. From what I got into it, Fresh Air would have handled it one way, This American Life would have handled another, and they ended up on Serial because they had 7 episodes they had to release all at once because they couldn't leave you hanging. So he's going down because that guy, John B, was the one that wrote in with the story, and he's worried about climate change and all this stuff, and the people, the murderer is...
Nipples guy?
The Nipples guy was the...
Hey, Nipples!
He's the star.
Hey!
He's the star of
Yeah,
the
hockey
season
puck.
series.
Come here.
He's the guy that the whole show is about.
He's the one that talks like he has fucking marbles in his mouth? Or
Kind
shit
of.
in his mouth?
So this is the
something?
this is the maze.
That's the maze that he actually...
Love of God.
64 solutions and 1 not solution. If he puts... There's one way that he can change those doors. Yeah, and it's something like that. It's the same producers and how they did it, but Ira Glass works for the whole... He might be in charge of all of it or something, but for some reason they went back and forth. But that maze, so there's one solution... There's one way that he can put a door that there's no solution. But luckily it's low enough so you're not really in The Shining, so you could just jump over the hedge.
Okay.
But so it's
so
supposed...
he's not stupid,
Not at all. He's a genius.
Yeah.
The man's truly a genius. I mean,
but he sure does not sound right.
oh no, because it sounds like someone imitating someone doing a southern
Sure.
accent.
Sure.
So anyways, if you get a chance, listen to it. I'm so sad
Who's the woman? Was it like his mom or something?
Oh, well, his mom is part of the story. He's the town clerk
Huh.
at City Hall is a big part of the story. His
I
cousin
think it
is
was
part
the
of the
mom.
story.
And something
mom
about
doesn't
dress.
talk.
Oh, then whoever the woman is that talks initially, I was like, oh, for the love of God, I can't do that. I said,
I don't.
I
And
can't do
tell
it
me if I'm
anymore.
wrong, but I
can't.
don't think the mom. I don't think the mom ever talks.
Something about him dressing different. Is that the same thing?
Oh,
No?
because it leads so many different places. What? You don't know how you got there. Trog! You're looking for a safe word.
I think what you were looking for, Meow Cal, is a toucan.
And then the really funny this artist in Paris. This is from Anand
Toucan.
in Paris. This goes under arts and entertainment. A broody French artist hatches chicken eggs live in a Paris museum. This is from our what collection. This is real. A French artist whose previous exploits include living inside a stuffed bear and navigating a river in a giant corked bottle has hatched his first chick after spending 3 weeks sitting on 10 eggs in a Paris museum. Is this art? I saw an art exhibit in New York with people sleeping, and they would give them safe sleep drugs, and they would put them to sleep, and while you were watching, they slept in the museum, and it was performance art. Swear to Christ.
Okay.
So Abraham Poincheval, whose father made headlines for inventing pills that made flatulence smell of roses, has been on public display inside a glass case in the Palais de Tokyo Modern Art Museum since March 29th. He could be seen checking on the eggs every few minutes by visitors or via the museum's live YouTube feed. His patience finally paid off this week when the first of the eggs began to hatch, forcing Mr. Provençal to temporarily rise from his nest for fear of crushing the little yellow chick that emerged. The 44-year-old artist's ordeal is far from over, however, as he must stay in the glass case until the 9 other eggs hatch. And then he can return home to his 2 human children that were not hatched. It's been really rough for him. He kept sitting on the eggs. It's been a lot harder than being stuck inside the rock, because that was one of his other things. One of the hardest aspects of the time brooding the eggs has been the heat inside the glass vitrine, as the eggs have to be kept at a minimum of 37 degrees Celsius, which is right around 100 degrees.
Oh my God.
He sat almost around the clock. He was only allowed a half-hour break every 24 hours. Is that to shower, pee, poop, brush your teeth?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to do a lot in 30 minutes. In one corner of the vitrine, in a heavy, traditional Korean cape on a specifically designed laying table. He's vowed that his chicks will never end up on a dinner plate and said he planned to give them a happy life in his father's farm in the west of France. Doesn't everyone tell their children that about their dogs? They went to a happy place.
Old Yeller.
Yeah.
on the farm.
In February this year, the artist entombed himself for a week inside a 12-ton limestone boulder and previously had spent time inside the stuffed body of a bear.
See, that's just wrong.
He
Wait,
once,
like the Revenant?
yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
He once spent a week on top of a 20-meter pole, navigated a river in a corked bottle, and has crossed France on foot in a straight line.
Okay, so
Who
a
hasn't?
couple things. Well, duh, right?
Yeah.
But now, how much has he paid for this kind of crazy shit? A. And then B.
And are they taking applications?
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to try that.
She's got ductwork to pay for in a house.
There's a lot happening, and
I know.
I'll
And
hatch
working
a
drains.
fucking egg.
Working drains, people. Working drains.
Fucking hatch that egg. But how do you, like, will you marry me? I do this for a living. I get in bear suits and
I
I
think
shit out chickens. I mean, like, what?
There are so many people I hear of or meet on Earth that I'm like, somebody hit that?
Twice, apparently. you're
Twice,
saying.
yeah.
I just don't.
I'm
I
like,
don't
I'm
know.
single.
What?
I watch a little extra Netflix. I don't have the sugars. It's been confirmed.
It's like the guy standing in line at the grocery store, and there's this ugly woman this ugly woman standing next to him, and she's got two kids that are clearly different ages. And he goes, "Those twins?" And she goes, "No. Why would you think they're twins?" He goes, "I can't believe somebody fucked you twice."
Had to be one egg.
I think I split. My God, that's very funny.
Somebody hit that twice?
Yeah, no.
Oh my
I
God.
don't understand.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
So the other show is, as long as you're enjoying Fargo, there's a new series that looks intriguing. It's been all over FX, and I don't know why FX advertised it. Maybe I'm watching something else. But it's called Mary Kills People, and it's on Lifetime TV, and I'm very, very, very intrigued by it.
I haven't seen this
I've
one.
seen like the commercials over and over again. I was assuming I was watching them with Fargo. Oh, it must be on A&E advertises with Lifetime. So it must
Okay.
be while I'm watching Bates Motel that I'm seeing all these commercials. But it's called Mary Kills People. I'm very intrigued.
Can you give some background?
Apparently Mary runs around and kills people.
Is that, or is she just hatching, shitting out eggs?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't know much about Mary.
Let me look it up. Let me look it up. I was hoping people could Google it for themselves, but I'll help.
I'm very busy looking up.
If you're
Ann Romney.
bringing it to the table, you got to have some background.
There has to be.
Well, we
some-
talked about
Trog.
it last week, but you're clearly not paying attention. So it's Caroline Devernos that was on Hannibal that I love so much. And let's see what the synopsis says. A single mother, Mary Harris, an ER doctor by day, but by night, she and her partner, a former plastic surgeon, moonlight as underground angels of death and help terminally ill people slip away on their own terms.
Oh, so it is tonight, Berta.
Yeah, it is.
Tonight, Berta.
Tonight. It's your time.
Open the window.
Berta, we need a bed,
and a bird.
and we're going to need that.
We got
bird.
people coming. This bed needs to open up, Berta. Come
Can
on.
you get that chicken?
I know. So Annette wants to know why no one said, what? To the chicken story. Because it felt appropriate
I
in
didn't
so
think,
many ways.
I didn't think there were words or sounds enough to justify.
I know.
I agree.
He sent me that email today, and I'm like,
That's fucked up.
No.
No.
I have. Well,
That's fucked
didn't we
up.
just see? Oh, I don't know who I was with.
You know, quite frankly, Annette, Trump is the president of the United States, so nothing.
Everything is performance art at
everything
this
is
point.
Performance art, and what? You know, I mean,
Oh, I can't think of where I was at the museum
Trump.
where we saw the candy, and it was just a corner of. Oh, it was at the Chicago Institute of Art. So there was just this pile of candy, and it said "Help yourself," and people were going up and taking the candy, and it was about an artist who was dying of AIDS. And it was all
remember
about
you
his
talking about that.
struggle to sustain himself. Would you eat the candy that was offered, or would you like help him stay there in the state he was in? Like when you saw free candy, would you just take from someone who was slowly disappearing, or would you leave it be and ask more questions? And it was a very intriguing. But there's all those art exhibits, like the person fucking sleeping in New York.
I'll
that
give you
you're like,
$10, but I really like a bit of honey.
Yeah, exactly. No. So you're kind of torn. So the worst part is most people would pick up
Can
the
I get you
candy
some
and think that, oh,
McDonald's?
me eating the candy is the art. Because you never fucking know with some of these modern art things.
Right. Right.
Am I part of this experiment?
Sure,
Because this is bullshit.
Is there a camera? Am I
Are
being
you
filmed?
gonna once you hatch that chicken?
Yeah.
Can I eat the other 8? Like, was one all you needed, and now we're all gonna have scrambled eggs?
Yeah, we're gonna have an omelet later. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right, Annette. Nothing's weird to us anymore.
Yes, you're right,
you know?
Annette. No,
Yeah,
numb is a good word
Yeah.
for this.
Because I love a good modern art museum. So sometimes I don't know if I'm being
Wait a
punked.
minute. I enjoy Aaron. You're like, Mary should probably knock it off.
Yeah. It's out there.
I like it. I like
The
it.
follow-up series,
Yeah.
Mary needs to calm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. But
Reformed Mary.
yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
stop going to art museums is what I've
for
learned, because there's
real.
some weird fucking shit. Whenever you get to the modern section, you're just kind of like, all right, I'm in. Like, let's open our thought caps and what the fuck are we gonna watch this time? But the person sleeping and
Yeah.
everyone gathered around watching sleeping, and I'm like, I'll take the drugs. I need a nap. I'm exhausted. How is this art?
Can I be art for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, solid?
Right.
And then I wanted to know, what'd you give her? And is it ever a man? Does he get a boner?
Propofol. It's
No.
just a little bit.
Wears off fast.
Oh, does it?
I get that out like candy.
Oh,
Oh,
apparently not. If you give
not
enough
to the
of it.
guy that was in Chicago. Candy.
No, right.
No, different.
I don't know. Right, the candy had a message. And I'm sure there's some message with this chicken thing, because I'm always the asshat that reads everything on the wall.
Right,
You
yeah.
can't go through a museum with me in under
True.
7 hours, because I have to read
Yeah,
every
I
single
would
thing.
agree. I would agree with that. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Because most people
I
just
need
ate the candy
information.
and moved on and thought, well, there was a candy bowl over there that was
now
the exhibit.
Guy, now there's death. It's terrible.
And
the
like
whole
this
thing.
article didn't say, but I'm sure he had some message about like
I don't know if you've.
free
I
range
forget if
chickens
you
or
have.
under my ass chickens.
I
Or
forget if you've been there yet or not. But
shot right out of a chicken's ass.
the Foundry, the new hotel downtown next to Fez.
Oh, right.
Have you been through it yet or no?
No, I have not.
Okay, in the lobby, all through the lobby of the hotel, because it's all artful. They have all kinds of art. You should go walk through there because they have some shit. I'm like, what? Why is there a mannequin strapped to this girder? Like, they have weird stuff to me. To me, it's odd.
Oh, and
But
straight.
you should go look at it.
I swear to God, from the set of Hannibal at Hanny's is
Oh yeah, downstairs.
no upstairs. The horned
Oh, I remember you talking
figurine
about that.
looks. It's right. If you've never watched Hannibal, episode 3, season 1,
Mm-hmm.
that was just taken right off the set and put into that thing. And everyone who's ever seen Hannibal that goes to Hanny's with me is like, that's from Hannibal. And I'm like,
Oh.
yes, it's creepy. He's got a doll's face for an ass.
Mm.
Oh, I think of the little dolls downstairs.
Again, doesn't get any better.
It's weird.
But I'm saying, well, that's the Last Supper done with creepy dolls and now some kind of satanic symbol on the table. Have you been there since they changed the symbol on the table?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, the pennies are now in the shape of some kind of satanic symbol.
Oh.
Oh.
Blair
Or it's
Witch.
an ampersand. I don't
Blair
know.
Witch.
Blair Witch.
Or it's an ampersand. Could be. At dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Doll- I don't
Right.
know.
Yep. It's Blair Witch. There's a new one out. You know.
Of course there is. Mm-hmm. If it works once, do it again.
Do it again. People
I learned that from Dolly Parton. It was funny once, do it to death.
Keep going. Keep going. God, that's terrifying. I don't ever want to watch someone shit out a chicken.
Nope.
No, I mean, like, that to me would not an answer to the question.
Well,
That would
he's
not
brooding
be
it,
art.
so he's sitting on some kind of a special thing where the eggs
no,
are
but
beneath him. But
seeing
his
some dumbass sitting in a thing, I would be
But
like,
his-
I'm not going to stand back and be like,
because I had to look it up like 3 different ways to find out what he was really doing.
Mm-hmm.
But he's sitting close enough and he can't shower too much because his body heat has to build up, so that he really is. It's brooding. It's called brooding. When you
He's an incubator.
he's, yes, but it's called. It turns out it's called brooding. That's a thing.
I didn't know. Thank you for that education, but I was trying to shortline this for her. Incubator.
Didn't want to know it long
Hot
or
box. He's hot boxing it.
Better word.
better 2 words.
Trog.
Hot smelly boxing it, maybe.
Trogging them. He just farts continuously till an egg is like, get me out of here.
Right. Thank you. What? Yeah. Take me to the colonel now.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right.
I've weighed my options, and I think I'd rather be a drumstick.
Thank you.
Awful.
Out of
Just
here.
awful.
Give me both 11 herbs and spices and some gravy. I'm out of here.
I'll close my eyes as you apply them all. I won't even guess what they are.
Oh, my goodness. No. Terrifying.
Oh,
Terrifying.
my God.
So that, children, is entertainment?
Sure.
I think so. I think it was. It was entertaining to me.
And I don't know at this point. Is there any?
Yes, we do have a we have a question.
We have a question. Oh, and we will do this and figure out how we're going to get to this question. Here we go.
And now, Thoughtful Vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow. Which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
Well, the overactive bladder's gone all the time now.
What, for you?
No, for her.
Oh.
She's gone again. So our question is, what?
God, Jeezy Pete's.
Gotta go a long way. So,
She can hear you. I'm sure pretty well she can hear you.
yeah, I talk loud. In case you didn't know.
I'm well aware.
Yeah. So, if you were presented with, this is kind of our 13 reasons why follow-up. If you were presented with someone who doesn't know how to ask for help or feels that asking for help somehow makes them weak or not worthy, or they're a failure if they can't do it all by themselves, how would you help them? What words of counsel would you offer?
I have been in this situation before with various people for different things. Either be it somebody who doesn't want help in, if it's doing a project or doing something, or if it's as dramatic or as big as, I don't know how to go on. I've been in both of these situations where people, they don't want to ask for help for whatever reason, and literally I have, whether it be made up or not, I have used myself as the example where I put myself in the situation, and even if I don't specifically know what they're going through, I've just made up a story about, did I ever tell you about this time back when I was in, blah, blah, however old I was, and I was in whatever situation, and and then I have on the fly, I've manipulated and made up a story that got them to understand that I was able to ask for something, and just it has, not every time, but it has more often than not got a conversation going where eventually they felt comfortable enough that they did just ask me or tell me what was going on with them, where they at least let it out. So I completely have done that. If I have felt that person was like, something's up here, how do I get this? And I've literally, you just talk to them long enough and you figure it out.
So did you hear the question, or?
I heard the majority of it. My first reaction was, snap out of it!
What? Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no, and there's the other side of the coin. I mean, sure, you've got some people where you're just like, listen, I know you want to fucking cry for 2 minutes. Let's get up.
No, but it's someone who won't cry. That's the
Right,
problem.
but no, that's where my story
the
comes in.
stoic person that's juggling too many balls.
Metaphor.
Yeah. Juggle your own balls.
Phrasing. Juggle your own balls.
I think that I would go a lot with what Clayton just said. Just the idea of, because if you see somebody that doesn't know how to help, or ask for it, and this and that, there's going to be a distance in their eyes. I think that you're going to see something or see nothing.
Yeah.
Kind of where you're like, something's going on. Like this is, because it's almost creepy when people get like that, because it's so scary. Kind of like,
functioning yet despondent completely.
Right. And so, yeah, without being that annoying person of, I'm tiptoe or I'm gonna make you laugh. I'll do whatever I need to. No, not like that. But
right.
Just because that's too much. I think that pushes people away. But to sit there and just kind of gab, and I like that. Like you're kind of making things up.
There was a kid
people in.
few weeks back that was at actually at Stacy's, and I've known him for many, many years, and he's in a relationship where it's not perfect. No relationship is, but it is not, and I clearly know that. And he had started some new career things, and things were going well with him, but he could not get the other one on board. So I just made, I'm like, the smoke is too much on the crowded patio in the back is where everybody was. I'm like, let's go to the front patio, because I need, and there was nobody there. And literally it was an hour and a half of conversation. And once that was done and he got to say what he needed to and get everything out, and I gave him some direction. Now, whether he takes it or not, I don't know.
Sure.
He he felt more free to ask me without people around.
Right.
And all that. And he'll private message me on Facebook or text me to ask different things, and I've done little chats with him, nothing earth-shattering.
Sure.
But that was one of the things where he wanted, you could just tell he wanted to talk, but he couldn't talk with everybody around.
Sure.
So I just made up this,
Saw those
too much
signs.
smoke. Let's go out front, get a drink, let's go out front. And then and that's what we did. And it all, again, like the next day, I got some huge long text from him about, thank you for listening, I didn't know what to do, blah, 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 blah. So
I think that a lot of times if you put yourself out there, whether it's made up or otherwise, I mean, you put yourself out there to kind of start talking with someone without it being an unloading, right? Because that's the last thing that somebody would need. But that would probably be a lot of what.
Yeah, not a lot of people. You think you got problems?
You
Well,
think
listen to
you're
this.
a bad
Right.
guy.
Don't be a one.
Wrong.
Don't be a one-upper Trog.
Yeah.
Right.
And the problem is what if the person honestly thinks that asking for help is a sign of weakness? That the minute they ask for help, they failed. Like,
Yep.
how do you convince somebody that success only comes from
Oftentimes a
tribe.
collaboration, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, it's just that interesting thing of getting someone to know they can, and it doesn't mean failure. Like,
Sure. That's where the idea of a story would come in that
Right.
easily would not have to be made up in my situation, to be like, yeah, this one time I
I'm a
had to ask for
codependent
help.
nightmare.
Right.
Asking for help is kind of what I do.
Right. But that kind of, you don't want to. I don't think that, well, I can't speak for you, but I don't think that there are people out there I know I don't want to have to ask for it. Like, I want to be able to do whatever it is.
And we all want to be as independent as
Right.
possible and not
Right.
have to rely on somebody else. But,
Right.
and it's been a while, and I'm like, here's a list of things I can do. Here's a list of things
Yeah.
that, nope.
Well, there's
that's
also
just
those
not
people
me.
that and I know we've all been around them, where they have, whether overtly or not, they have asked for help, be it they just show up and ask you, or they come cry on your doorstep or whatever it is. Well, there's some of those that you can do. We can talk through stuff, whatever. Well, then there's other times you're like, okay, this is the 18th time.
Right.
And you aren't helping yourself.
Right.
And then you've got to be like,
and there's a difference between like someone who can't ask for help and someone who's just crying for attention.
right.
Right.
Like,
Who wants to
those are
post every
attention
7 minutes on
seeking.
Facebook?
Right. Those are two different animals, and we're definitely talking about the former on this one. Of like the person that just needs to know
They're not
that
alone.
you can show a little vulnerability,
absolutely.
and we're still gonna like you. Like
Yeah.
we're like.
And that they're not alone.
And, right, and
yeah.
and I think that's the
Yeah.
important part about it is that you're not alone in needing help. Like,
Sure.
and I think that's what's sometimes hard for people to hear is like, I know it's like we've all been through this. We've all, and no one wants to hear that from someone older.
Right.
Stay away from the credit cards. Stay away from the student loans.
Right.
Don't drink and drive. Try to look both ways before you cross
I
the
felt
street.
the same way when I was your age.
Yeah, I know we offered you $50,
Yeah.
but you probably still shouldn't fuck them. I mean, and no one wants to hear that from an older person. Like, so how
But
do you
you
get?
always say $20 is $20.
That's what I say.
I lowered the
Oh,
price.
my
That's
bad.
how I got there.
Oh, I see,
I
I
lowered the
see.
price and told them the money's on the dresser. Chocolate.
Negotiation.
But
Their bus pass is there too.
yeah, the bus pass get you out of here faster.
Yeah.
But it's that person
Wake up, your
that,
Uber's here.
Yeah, that just won't ask. That's not
Yeah.
not seeking attention, but is starting to like shut down into themselves. How do you reach out and be like, pull them back a little bit? So I mean, it's kind of from the book of 13 Reasons Why, and kind of like how do you see somebody and reach out and not be like, I'm not just doing a song and dance, you're doing my favorite
Sure.
chicken imitation, caw. But if you watch Arrested Development, you know how good that was.
Again, not on the same along lines of this. There was I have a client. I won't tell which one, obviously, but I was there, and when I was looking at them, I could just tell like something is clearly amiss on memory bliss here. Like what? And I just stopped and I said, "You okay?" And they were like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I've known you for years, and I can look at you, and I know what they had been through over many, many years with the store, and we'd been through different things here and there, and finally they're like, 'You hungry?' I'm like, well, sure, I'm at your restaurant. Of course I'm going to eat.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, well, hang on. So they brought food, and then we sat for probably 45 minutes to an hour. And again, they just let out everything that they're like, I'm like, well, look, I'm like, you got my number.
That's where food works.
You got my
It
number.
really does.
Right, no,
Yeah,
totally.
It's true.
Trap
It's true.
somebody with a meal.
Yeah.
And again, I was like, you've got my number. I'm like, I've helped you through, trying to put paper in a fucking printer. I can help. If you need somebody, call me. I'm like, we're here.
Yeah.
And then she was like, wow. She goes, you have been over the years, but she goes, it's kind of funny that you're a vendor of mine, but yet you guys are kind of like family. I'm like, well, just call me. I'm like,
Yeah.
And you see them at all different, times and
Right.
going through different things. So when you see that kind of,
because I thought they were just like,
Nothing,
like I was standing there. I'm like, are you about to cry or lose
Yeah.
your, in my head? I'm
Yeah.
thinking that. That's why I'm like, are you okay?
yeah.
And sometimes you just need, and sometimes it can be lighter. Like sometimes it can be later. Like I had a rough day at work the other day. Got home and was like, had bought some like really delicious spicy guacamole, and was just like, it was standing up at the counter like just trying to unpack the night of like, what the?
Oh, I think
fuck?
I saw your post.
And so I was like, and I said out loud to my kitchen, you know what? A really well-made guacamole can make up some truly horrific character flaws. Like, because it was pre-made, so I'm like, I don't even know who made this, but I think we'd be friends. Like, they could tell me they had done a string of really horrible things, and I'd be like, but you made this guacamole, so why aren't we even? And so I put it on, because I was saying there, so I put it on Facebook as just something funny that I was talking to myself in my kitchen about the person who may or may not have made this guacamole.
Sure.
And my friend Gina puts up on the thing, my secret is just a splash of tequila. And I read it and I was like...
In the guac?
Well, she just said it. So I was like, oh, and I was like, well, that's... I thought you were kidding, but I guess if you're making guacamole, a splash of tequila wouldn't hurt. And then she followed back with, well, I guess you could put some in the guacamole, too.
That's awesome. I love
And
that.
it was one of those things, and I'm not crying, my eyes just watering from my allergies.
That's funny.
It was one of those things where I was like, I had to like say like, you know what, I needed a laugh this morning,
Yeah.
and I didn't know that's what I was missing. Like,
Sure.
And as soon as I got that laugh, I guess you could put it in the guacamole.
Yeah.
It wasn't where I was going, but sure.
Yeah, I usually get through it with a shot.
Yeah.
That's great.
But
I'd like 4 shots and a beer. What
Yeah.
are you going to drink?
yeah,
Guacamole.
2 martinis. Oh, you want one?
Just
So-
the 2. Thank you. No.
And so I guess it's know your audience, but it's one of those things to just from Shit Town and like all these things that we've been watching lately to like kind of recognize someone who's just kind of
Overwhelmed
and
done
withdrawn
yeah.
and just can I
Right.
walk you to the next thing? Can I
Sure.
wanna chat for a second?
Yeah.
Even though sometimes we're all like, can you all just shut the fuck up?
Right.
There might be somebody who might need a conversation. Yeah.
Because most of it's just noise.
Yeah.
I think the majority is noise, but you're right. Occasionally you see that one person, you're like,
Oh, 'cause
Yeah, but I
spend-
think it's when it's that silence that you go, that's
oh,
loud.
that one's not right. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's loud. That silence.
oh, no, right. Amidst all the white noise,
Right.
Yeah.
whatever color you want to pick.
Sure.
But I mean, amidst all of the hubbub,
Racist.
you like, why are they over in the corner? Or why are they just sitting here?
Right.
They're not laughing with everybody else. Or
Yeah.
it's something to that effect.
And it's not that they're pouting, sitting in a corner.
No.
They're,
Right,
you know,
right, right.
whatever.
Hugely
it's just,
distracted.
There is and sometimes just to recognize it and be like, that person doesn't look right.
Right.
Or, is that person have a gun? Because I think we're all gonna die.
Right. Because they might just lose their shit in about 2 seconds.
They may have a
Sure.
manifesto at home.
Sure.
Oh.
Or in their back pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you like guacamole?
Page 3.
Do you like tequila?
Guacamole enthusiasts and why they're going down first.
Tequila guac.
But
Oh,
yeah,
look
you
at
almost got me.
that.
But I have to tell you, even though the bash is disclosing, proving that not all change is bad, across the street at the Single Girl Safeway, they make a $5 a tub spicy guacamole that
Good,
will brighten
huh?
even
Yeah.
the bleakest of mornings. And it wasn't really a bleak morning. I was just kind of over it all.
Well, then I need to try that because I like their store brand. They have a chipotle salsa that is wonderful. I went and bought it and took it to my mom's. Like,
Oh,
this is
there's that little section in the vegetables where they just made it right behind you. But last week I was all pissed off because they had the regular guacamole but not the spicy, and I wanted to go like bang a bell in the kitchen and be like,
Where is
"Who's
the-
in charge of this? Make
Do you
it
want
now."
like a pair of mud jeans or something?
I do.
fancy bitch.
They have, and I know you hate cilantro, but oh my
Oh
god,
no, actually, you had said that, and you were so kind. I'm not a huge fan of cilantro.
Oh, okay.
Aaron cannot have it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Because
she's the
they
one that,
make
like,
a fresh
hates.
pico de gallo for $5, or it's $2.99 every morning.
Uh-huh.
They have freshly made diced onions, tomatoes, and pico, and a lovely fresh salsa.
See,
I had been
just think
cooking
they're-
that up with eggs in the morning, just kind of like brown, heating
Yum.
it
Sure.
up, and having the onions change color and get softer, and then you add in the eggs and scramble it up, and oh my god,
Sounds delicious.
I'm expecting corporate spies from Filiberto's any day now.
Any day.
Shit.
Well, and
Corporate espionage is on the horizon.
just
at
as
my
a
house.
point,
Trog, I said.
a point of cilantro, they just put too
They do.
much. In
And that's what I say about
too many things
guacamole.
now. I'm
I
like,
don't eat
fuck.
guacamole in the wild because too
In the
much.
wild.
I need to be in charge of my own guacamole.
Guacamole.
Don't spread your guacamole on me.
I think you're going to start seeing a few changes in the old Single Girl Safeway because of the closing of the other store.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna have all the old people from across the
bingo.
aisle.
So,
Yeah.
so defibrillators are going to be
Playing
on
bingo, literally playing bingo.
all on the odd aisles, starting with produce. They're going to have defibrillators in every aisle because you
Yeah.
never know what's going to happen. So get ready because that Single
I
Girl
am
Safeway
definitely
is,
gonna be a waitress when that age range goes up 20 years. Nope, can't help you, Grandma.
I'm looking forward to that. The only thing, again, I'm not looking forward. Yes, they're leveling the store, and I get it, progress. I'm just getting more and more fucking concerned with how many apartment complexes.
Is that what's supposed to be going on?
Yes,
It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
because again, the traffic is already insane in this central
Yeah,
corridor.
normally I think you're crazy, but on this topic, I am right
Yeah.
on board with you with like, settle the fuck down. Let's get the first 3 million people into the camps
Sure.
and then we'll move on. Like, how many apartment complexes do you need in one city block? It's too much.
Have I ever been a champion of all these complexes?
No, I meant on different topics.
Yeah.
well, I'm going to need a list.
Yeah.
She gets vacuum cleaners out of the canal.
And the lights and the this. I mean, he doesn't.
Wow, she
understand those
found
things.
other examples really fast, didn't she?
Trog.
Walk by a lawnmower. Call me after.
Oops. And yes, I'm moderate about cilantro. Usually it's one or the other, but
I feel like we're just gonna get a straight up cunt out of him now.
it could be.
This is where the show ends. For those of you playing the home game,
We have to go find lawnmowers.
yeah.
Lights out and lawnmowers.
I love it. Walk by a lawnmower and call me.
Anyway,
Funny stuff.
It's cute.
she was funny at the time.
Yeah.
I got a text from
I guess she
Harrison.
had to
She
be
loves
there.
her fan.
Oh, she does.
She loves her. It's a lovely fan. Oh, for Christ's
Yeah,
sakes.
you had to be there.
We're done. As we wrap up tonight's show, let's leave with this parting thought. We will see you next Tuesday. Bye, everybody.
Hopefully I won't be
Have a good
snotting
night.
and crying through the whole
I know.
show.
Well, we're all hopeful.
Oh.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America.